This is what I was trying to see. How will I know if anybody is coming? Let's go and get them for it. We'll doing the presentation. Okay, it comes here. Okay, no problem.
Some notification are ours.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Sir, okay. Then it's good.
Okay. Okay, good.
Actually, normally admit kardam sir. See, I'll think.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, please.
I am taking care of
We'll
it.
be happy. Yeah. Okay, great. Okay. Okay. Good evening. Welcome everyone for this series of AI workshops. We are starting with leveraging AI in job search. Okay. We are going to have both Sourashtra and English mix. I hope everyone will enjoy that. So feel free to make it very interactive session that would work. Okay. So I actually sent out the note. This workshop is conducted by the mentors are myself, Giridhar and Vidi. I'm based in Bangalore. I will give the names, and when they present, they can also introduce. Vishnu Vardhan BK Ajikudwa, he's also in Bangalore, and we have Balaji, who is also in Bangalore. Then I'm Cherry Keradia. So since we only waited for 6 minutes, I'll go ahead with this presentation, and as I said, we'll have to keep it interactive. Chat and message if you want some clarification or any questions you want to ask. Okay. Shall I go ahead?
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay. So first thing is go on. Okay. About task. Okay. So we are a group of Sourashtra professionals. Okay. We started as a simple group, as WhatsApp group. Now we evolved into conducting seminars and workshops, webinars, area. So we are basically group of people experienced different professionals with diverse expertise. All kind of people. When I say professionals, it's not pertaining to software mutana, IT mutana. Everybody, like mechanical engineers, civil engineers, architects. We even welcome lawyers and doctors. Okay. And what kind of people we are? We are not like, we are very successful people, but success is not all the time we be tasted, right? We also lost. So basically it made us very resilient. And we have we are learning as well as we learned from the failures too. And most importantly, we are very focused. Okay, so we don't get distracted. We focus on the trends, what is happening in the industry. Okay, and most another important thing is all the people, group of people, all like-minded, and we want to build the community. Okay, community. How kona payback our community kona support kirwai kona kerada our community milkan fulla wai medata focus so seduru kai for education academic our Sourashtra milkan chokko they are very strong. Everybody believes in education or degree, post graduation. But job becomes a challenge. First job particularly. So we thought we'll connect and provide the network solution, networking to get a job. So we can collaborate and connect and have networking. That's how we do the community building. Okay. Then what is important now? This is showcasing continuous learning. So we know if you want to be in any profession, we have to have continuous learning. It's not only technology. Any profession you take, what's happening the latest, one has to understand the complete landscape. So our group in we have conducted several workshops like this, and this is the first time we are doing AI workshop. Okay, so as I mentioned the right hand side, we organize job opportunities on the WhatsApp group. So the WhatsApp group so let's say our company hire I'll post the job details. So like this, everybody posts, and then it's really helpful as a place where people, those who are looking for people and those who want good people to be hired. So these are equal. So WhatsApp group for that. And we conduct, as I mentioned, we are conducting seminars and also provide coaching for the those who want, suppose I'm trying for a particular job, I'm trying for a particular technology learning. So the coaching I will provide there. Okay, so that is for career growth as well as career change. Okay, if you would like to join, to me, this particular your Google form I'm sharing to you. See, you provide your details and you can join the WhatsApp group of Sourashtra Proposals. Okay, so this is about us. And if you have any questions, we post here. I'll just move to next slide, or you can ask. Feel free to ask if you want to ask, but posting will be better. Yeah, Arun Prasad, you have some question? You raise your hand.
Yeah, I'm not good in Teams. Can you please tell me where is the chat box such that if I have anything, I can share it in a message? I don't want to disturb you all the time.
Yeah, I'm in admin mode of Satanti Karni. Your Vishnu Balaji, do you see? Do you guide him? Can you guide Arun?
Chat is disabled for attendees.
Attendees, yeah. Oh, okay. Balaji, can you see? I can enable that.
raise hand kiriye te louto si people mein unda sir te louto chat sir tele chat
No,
munji
it's only
but chat avino currently unavailable means sir
Unavailable, yeah.
Hi.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So if you want, you can raise hand. Tell us I'm seeing.
See, this is the one. Okay. So that. Yeah, it looks like disabled. Call me.
Somewhere some echo mari avarisi.
I think guest can join kiriye tanga pura disable. Me every personal account login kiriye.
Oh, okay. Those who are in Teams account, hello, yeah. Okay. So Balaji, you have Teams account, yeah?
I may have Teams. I have Teams. Tamamu
Okay, I think
kiriya.
just say you are not guest.
Yeah, I'm not guest.
Okay.
Okay, for example, if somebody has a question, raise your hand. At least tell we couldn't allow there. We'll pass moments in a while to see if there is a hand raised. We can take the questions maybe.
Yes. That's the best way. Sorry about this confusion. We didn't expect. LMR 5 I'm just saying. And I don't see any option also to like disable or enable. It simply says so conversation. Even for me, it says chat. You can't send messages because you are not part of. You are not a member of the chat now. I don't know what it means. Okay, I'm the organizer, but disabled. You should ask. I've been supporting from the sector. Not now. Okay, so I'll go ahead with the presentation if you don't mind. Okay, I mean our Sourashtra presentation here. Next, about this AI workshop. So I mean, so we have diverse interests and also the various types of people we have within our group. Some people they are too new to AI. Some people already have proficiency. So to capture everybody, this one we thought is a very generic need. Even those who are using on daily basis AI, for them job search they want to understand what level they can go. So this is most sought topic. So I'm very excited here. Next time, we are going to do the how we can use AI for increasing the productivity on a day-to-day activities. A lot of things we do. We write a blog, we write PowerPoint presentation, we prepare some kind of invite or document, anything that we do, email writing, everything. So Telamar activities, how AI can be useful. So that is the next workshop we are going to conduct. It's going to be next Saturday, and we'll provide the details. Next, third one, AI as a companion for software developers. Specifically software developers, we found that we have lots of tips and tricks we can share, and also of course it's a learning as well as sharing. So tell on the plan here. And most advanced one now, everybody is the talk of the world is agentic AI. That's a fourth workshop we are planning. And any suggestion, your feedback, please provide to write to sourashtraprofessions@gmail.com. Okay. So in the Kai Vasakarajari, so we are talking about AI. AI on a brief introduction. Even though many people know, we will have quick introduction about AI. Okay, tell one time. Next, we are planning on the resume preparation. Okay, resume preparation, I know AI use wise. Then third one will be interview preparation, particularly then how AI can use for interview preparation. And then we will have a mock interview also. So Kona AI can be utilized to evaluate yourself by doing a mock interview. Okay, the first thing is introduction to AI. NLP. So basically that's what we are talking about. ChatGPT, anything text-based is NLP. And computer vision is basically anything like, say for example, you're looking at the camera, you want to turn off something, that's a computer vision. And then robotics is you instruct a machine to do something based on the AI, that is robotics. And expert system is particularly when you want to have say very specific steps of actions. So that's expert system. And a good example, surgery, robot surgery, celebrate expert system over here. Okay, so this is about our agenda today. And okay, first thing is, are we ready? Okay, we see that a lot of people joining. Good, welcome. Again, welcome everyone for this workshop. What we want from you, basically stay engaged. Interactive and kind of questions that answer that's how we can participate. And post your questions in chat name idea. Unfortunately, chat is not really helping us. Some of those who have not already member, whether you can post anything. And most importantly, keep your phones away. If you are watching this seminar, this workshop on phone, of course you need it. Otherwise, we recommended to log in from laptop. Keep your phones away. Okay, so keeping your phone away means basically no distraction. This is like completely involved in chemical Sangari. Okay. So next,
Okay, question hai Sanchana.
Yeah. The Sangoda.
Giri, I have a suggestion. Since that is not working today, we can ask people to post their question in the WhatsApp group.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
But we need to group the asking member. Member that's our challenge.
But whoever is there, in the group.
Yeah, whoever there. Yeah, okay. Yeah, WhatsApp group. Please, someone keep monitoring. That's a good idea. Monitor
करेंगे. In the meantime, echo avoid करते हुए मैं आस्के ना mute के लिए order या कोंती कहीं वाता करना मन से unmute के लिए वाता करूँ please.
Yeah, good. Thanks, Malali. Okay, the Sangeesan WhatsApp message karo. We'll try to take the questions and we'll try to address that one. Okay, so next point, I'm lagging behind. I mean, asking when it comes to AI in here, it's a technology, something known, something unknown. But so the question within us is, am I lagging behind? Okay, so I don't blame. I mean, I don't say that question is not with me. I also had it. Then what we did is systematic approach. Okay, so what we're saying is, just don't worry about it. Just dive in. Okay, AI is easier than you think. I'm easy and background technical background. For example, take machine learning. You would have heard machine learning. Machine learning less more AI is a lot more easier. That's how I can give an example. So next time okay, why AI looks so unclear, unknown, or like clarity in the couch. The reason is, the problem is, what generally people think is too many flavors. Okay, so Gemini Menarasi, ChatGPT Menarasi, Cloud, and then sudden can China Deep Seek Navarasi, Grok Menarasi. So case that it is really, really confusing. Okay, and many of us not really from technical background. So that is why we have hesitation to even learn, to even understand. Okay, so that becomes a problem. But actual problem, there is no proper guidance. Everybody wants to promote their product, their technology. So that's why there's no proper guidance. So webinar workshop will definitely help you in learning better. So what we are going to do is we are going to tell you what should be our approach and how we can practice, and we're also going to demonstrate. Okay, so our plan, we are going to offer you a successful approach. Our approach we can utilize AI to our benefit. Okay, so that is good. So next time, I'll go into presentation mode again. Okay, so how much you are familiar? So one by one we are going to bring out the words and what is Gen AI? Gen AI means kaya. Yeah, please unmute and or what if you want to describe, please go ahead.
Gen AI is nothing but just generating the new content out of the creating the knowledge and creating the new content on its own, like photograph, video, audio content.
Very good. Yes. So basically, your known content, trained content only, you generate a kind of database where you can query. That is Gen AI. Anybody wants to add more to this? Okay, I'll go to next one. What is ChatGPT? Sangwa? ChatGPT.
That's a very interesting library and which provides the functions to leverage and generate your own model.
Not really. அதாவது ChatGPT OpenAI platform the chatbot which is based on Gen AI. Right. For example, this was the first one which was made available to everybody. That's where it raised eyebrows.
Basically, it's a chatbot with AI background, and it's a tool. They have provided front-end tool, so they made it available to all the users. That's ChatGPT. Prompt, not English dictionary meaning. AI world prompt mein kya hai?
Whatever we're chatting with chatbots, it's a prompt.
Exactly. Whatever the query you post, that's a prompt. Tarkai garani kon hote hai? Audio noisy ante I see. Okay. Anybody want to add more to the prompt?
The statement which you give as input is nothing a prompt. You can call it like that.
Okay, correct. So prompt is very important because what you ask, it is going to answer the question. Okay, so that's why the prompt, they even call it prompt engineering. The query should be accurate, so that the answer will be accurate to your needs. Context. Again, not English dictionary meaning when it comes to AI. Okay.
Go ahead, Karthik. Karthik raised hand.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Unmute Kedi Sambo.
Contest area, at the window, I mean, question to the I contestant to Saria. For an example, I may ask, give me the medical field again to on a medical field and general term, medical term. The medical term is specific on a sleep apnea. The contest kaya, the tone kaya. I mean, Kolamari questions to Saria. Is that right?
Yeah, basically prompt there kind of setting the backend from where this prompt is coming, additional information there, we call it context.
We'll instruct AI what's the context so that it understands the context clearly. So we'll see some example where out of context question and answer hallucination. No word but Sango.
Okay. Let me see. At the end of the data there as well. The data we the tapun answer wrong answer. Okay.
Hmm.
I think that is called hallucination.
Okay. Yeah, so imam add करना मनेदी काय मनेदी hallucination काय मनेदी. So we ask A question and it will reply B kerwain sanjay. When you say further question B, it will go to C. Okay, then if you ask further question, it will go to A again. So it will kind of, it's not give you a solution, it will keep on moving from one to another. So it's kind of, it will get into hallucination. Okay, basically.
அதாவது இன் ஷார்ட் சொல்லுறது ஹாலுசினேஷன் காயம் ಅನ್ನೋದು ஏஐ ಮೂವಿಗ್ನು ತಪ್ಪಾன ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಕಾನ್ಫಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಸಂಗಿಲೆ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. We should be in a position to differentiate. ಅதாவது ಎಲ್ಲ ಇವಿಗಿನು ನಿಜಮೂ ನ್ಯೂ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹಂಗ ರಿಯಲೈಸ್ ಕೆರಾನ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇವಿಗಿನು ಟೇಕನ್ ಫಾರ್ ಗ್ರಾಂಟೆಡ್ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಎಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಕರಿ ಬೈ ತಪ್ಪು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹಾಯಿ ತಲ ಕಾನ್ಫಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಸಂಗಿಲೆ ಅವೆ.
Can we take that as a sequence?
Sequence.
Can we take that as a sequence, like one after other, it gives you the answer, but it is not right. Am I right?
No. ಇಲ್ಲ ರಾಂಗ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಅವಿಗಿನು in AI terms ಅವಿಗಿನು hallucination ಟೆಕ್ನಿಕಲಿ ಹೌ ಇಟ್ ಕಮ್ಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಅವಿಗಿನು ಪ್ರೀ ಟ್ರೈನ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ तेगा मॉडल इन्फॉर्मेशन तो आंसर करेगी तो भी कंप्लीटली तेगा नीता उंडा इन्फॉर्मेशन क्वेरी क्रियास అనేది वर्ड्स बरा जस्ट जंबल गिरिगी तुंग कೈದುಂಡ ಜಿಬ್ರೇಶ್ ಕನ್ಲಿ ಜೈ ಒಪ್ಪಳು ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ಫುಲ್ ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಗನ್ ರಾಯಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಗೆ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಗನ್ ಹಾನಾವಲ್ಲ ರಾಂಗ್ ಗನ್ ಬೇರೆ ಹಾಯಿ वे कोई स्पीकर एको होरस हेडफोन बेटा बेटर मन लग रहे
मी उंटा मना आशा मी उंटा एग्जांपल संगिया so atavino what is the national bird for India menasi avanga skenga kalaya ni peacock meni tella tapadu unta wrong answer de so tella kalanatha menyan tella nijam meni how do done tele madri how to make idli meni मी मुंदड़ी मी अभी गूगल कॉन्ट्रैक्टर कनो ये जेमिनाई काम के लिए होता है सो हाउ टू मेक इडली मिनी मनसी बेसिक स्टेप्स दिले आवई बट तेला स्टेप अभी हाउ टू मेक केक स्टेप मदीम हाई तेला सो तेला मादरी अभी कलनातेनो तेला निजम मेल्लुडन तेला अवंग कलाइरेस मनसी तेला करेक्टिया मिनी डिसाइड कराई सो तेगजल डेटाबेस सेते कंटेंट अभी मिक्स के रिगिनो सेते पूरा दे तेला सो तेला काइंड ऑफ hallucination yeah just ella add can minute
thank you neural network id बरास क्या
artificial brain, artificial neurons.
Artificial brain, अதாவது neural network नरेगा kind of deep learning technique which is mimicking the human brain but in a computer program. तुम्ही त्याला इव्होल्यूशन से आसने से अभी इनिशियल machine learning हो रहा है या deep learning models अभी है that's where the neural networks came into picture. Convolutional neural network या जो recurring neural network क्या है जो transform ना that's what is your chat GPT मनारिया generative pre-trained transformers. So transformer मनारिया based on neural network. I mean it's kind of technical but just to be aware that it is kind of mimicking the human brain, trying to mimic, let's say. ML, I mean machine learning. Anybody's thoughts about ML? Okay, so
teaching the computer, teaching the model.
Exactly. अதாவது teaching நிறைய சுமார் I mean முன்னாடி இது program कोण திங்கறங்க rule based க்கு நை எல்லாவே இல்லக்கென்னமே we instruct the computer machine learning री कोण हमारी machine से हमें ಒಂದು set of data दीडेवी हम set a pattern है और algorithm identify के लिए मतलब और हाल लेकिन identify करते pattern में algorithm identify करेगी it learns from the data तो it's a shift होगी instruction driven system ಬದಲು data driven system ಗನ್ ಮಚ್ಚಾರಿಯ ML ರಿ
through voice or
Hello.
Go ahead, Rosie.
Yeah, question pusa adutha, I think we can go on mute.
ಅದಾದ
Speaker
ಕೊಡ್ತಿ ಒಬ್ಬ ಸ್ಪೀಕರ್ ಅನ್ಸತ್ತಮಲ್ಲರಿ ಹೆಡ್ಫೋನ್ ನಿಂತ ತೆಂಗ ಮಾಂಟ್ರಿ ಲೂಪ್ ಎಕೋ ಹೋಗ್ಲ ಸರ್ ಅತ್ತ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಈಗ ಅರಸ್ಕೆ
Atta, now it's fine.
ಮತ್ತೆ ಈಗ so somebody has in speaker so to me headphone connect will go please. Okay, so the terms training and inference kriya hai. Training, anybody?
Training we are giving training to AI. Exactly. Exactly. An example sangaria. So on the knowledge object hoga.
Go ahead, please.
ಸಂಗ್ಯಾ ಅದರ ನ್ಯೂರಲ್ ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ತಲಾಮು ವೆಯ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಬಯಾಸ್ ಮನಿ ತಲ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಸೊ ತಲ ಬೇಸ್ ಕೇರಿಸ್ ಇದಲ ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ ಅಸ್ಕೆ ಅವೈ ಸೊ ತಲವಿಗೆನೋ ಅಮಿ ಬೇಸ್ ಡೇಟಾ ತೋಲಿ ಟ್ರೈನ್ ಕೆರಡಿಯ ಸೊ ವಿ ವೆಯ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಅಮಿ ಟ್ಯೂನ್ ಕೆರಡಿಯ ಸೊ ತಲಗ ನಾವು ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ
ಎಕ್ಸಾಕ್ಟ್ ಸೊ ಬೇಸಿಕಲಿ ಮಾಡೆಲ್ ಅವಿಗೆನೋ ಲರ್ನ್ ಕರಡಾರಿ ಅಮಲ್ಲೋಗ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ದ ಮಾಡೆಲ್ algorithm we data we make the model to learn from the we make the algorithm to learn from the data and make it a model. That's what is training. Inference manariya
basically prompt tawariya tella weights base kari output kaya varske tella deita.
Exactly. So basically training manariya model develop karariya, inference manariya model use karariya. Trained model set we give a prompt or we give some instruction to get be it prediction or be it output. So use area side madina inference adami gen AI question pusaras anedi it is doing the inference and giving us an answer.
One question sedellamu tumitella gen AI gunsage machine learning talinu vein overlapping horas confuse hori madla horas yeah.
அதாவது மெஷின் லேர்னிங் there is no generative part. அதாவது கோணமன சென்ஸே அது ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் तुम्ही உண்ட மெஷின் லேர்னிங் மாடல் ஃபார் லெட்ஸ் சே ரெக்ரெஷன் மாடல் பில்ட் कर रहा है it can be your tree based model or it can be your LSTM model உண்ட மாடல் பில்ட் करेगी. It can give you a prediction based on whatever data you have trained it on. அது உண்ட 3 years data some market sentiment analysis करता है उच्ची उन्हें model build कर दिया है तो 3 years data तुम इधीगिन तलाम तला seasonality और other factors तला इधीगिन learn कर रहा है तो तुम इतला kind of information दे तो it predicts. Okay, so gen AI में काउ चिमनारी में दी tella what you will have to understand is machine learning model it can predict based on what it has learned within that boundary. Gen AI on other hand pre-trained information fully, it can generate new content altogether. For example, prompt there as we just try it away. Complete this sentence with 100 words. Giri on 4 word on ChatGPT ne tayar sanadi 100 word build kare. Kai mari build kare manata it can be completely a new combination which you have never seen or which was not part of the training data also. So step by step word by word predict or token by token predict as a combination it becomes completely new which was not existing. That's where people are calling it as a generative AI because it is generating a content which is it was not there before.
Okay, so that's sorry the machine learning mari tumi kai sange emnadi ami feed karadiya the feed karade basically to understand kallai but it will not generate new content. Is that right understanding?
It will not generate a new content, rather it will give you a prediction based on the learned data.
Okay.
You have 10 parameter there as in the past 10 parameter author combination value kai mari output hodrasi telaga pattern mari understand no prediction but it is not new.
Sure. Thanks.
Model, I think by now we know, we are talking about the collection of data. be it machine learning model or neural network or Gen AI. When we say model, it is a huge collection of data. For your information, at the large language model, it is not few parameters. Okay, so the model size is basically billions of parameters. So the DeepSeek I think it is some 500 billion parameters model. The DeepSeek R1 OpenAI 4 I think it is almost 1 trillion parameter. So those many values are there as a variable. That's what is model. Vidyasagar, any question?
I'm good. Thanks.
Okay.
Thank you.
Gemini. I think I'll quickly go ahead and answer so that other slides. Gemini Google launch a set of LLMs. Not just the LLM, Gen AI model. There are image capabilities also. ChatGPT, OpenAI OpenAI GPT models. Google provide models. They are called Gemini. DeepSeek, it's a Chinese one. Then a specialty guy news
I heard only. DeepSeek, they have a separate agent for separate technology. But I may be wrong.
Okay. Then first and foremost, they have claimed to be highly cost efficient during the training. That is debatable, Mantarya. But at the same time, inference part, when we are using, there also it is cost efficient because the model, part by part, depending on the prompt, it will enable the model block by block instead of enabling the entire model. So your GPU usage cost comes down. So that's where they are really making a big difference.
On a question, co-pilot to ChatGPT, Gemini Pro is around a token many on the concept of us. So you can use these many number of tokens in a day. That's what allowed.
Our token concept see, language let's say a large language model, be it OpenAI or Gemini, language how the model treats it is completely numbers. Okay, so number first it takes part by part of your sentence. For example, on a sentence type the sentence word by word, sometimes part of the word token number so that's where your token term it comes to picture. So maybe image a collection of pixel will be treated as a token. Okay. So that inside your model, it can be treated like number.
Sentence use token use completely depends on the model.
Thumb rule 4 bytes token. That might differ slightly here and there, but 4 characters or 4 byte token consider.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, then. Next move another next slide. Maybe more specific question than he say, we'll park it for the end so that during the Q&A we'll take the detailed technical questions, I think. You're on mute if you're talking.
Okay, Krishna, now it's okay?
Okay then.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know, it's behaving so strange. It can't send message. Still, Balaji, thank you, chat opportunity, but still it's not enabled for me.
Questions at the end, all questions have you time significant holding,
Full day.
So that it is
Okay.
easier for all.
Okay, good. All right. So first time say confusion due to because Sangidhana too much of hype, too many tools and too much noise. As you see. So the good approach is to stay focused. Now you know Gemini, Claude, take one or two and master them. So that's what we are thinking and we have done. And the mantra is stay focused. Okay. Then if you want, you can look at other flavors, but master one particular tool. That's the point. So next time, effective usage. Effective in as we talked about hallucination menace. So how do you know? I will say the point is wrong question when you when you ask wrong question, obviously it will give a wrong answer. Or if the question itself the ambiguity here, then you will get a wrong answer. So that is very important. You have to keep that in mind. And don't get distracted. Answer don't get carried away. You be focused on what your interest is. And learn to use. Okay, see what all you can do, what are the features available, so you can make it very effective. So important thing is the mantra here is prompt. Correct prompt theory, correct question theory, correct answer. So the way to handle prompt is template your prompt so that you will get, you will pinpoint the question to AI correctly. But a good example, let's say somebody is looking for a job in Apple. Find me jobs in Apple, please, as a question, as a prompt. He will be talking about Steve Jobs in Apple. So an example of how it can give either you can call it hallucination or you give unclear question to him. So both these things, this is an example. Okay. So next, we are talking about too many jobs. Right? So how AI can help me? So now we are focusing on coming back to our job thing, job searching. So AI can definitely allow you to filter, and not only just filter generic, and you can say these are the keywords in the way and relevance. And nowadays, most of the job portals do that. But particularly what we heard is ZipRecruiter, Indeed, Glassdoor, they have enabled AI-powered area. So I mean, at least I'm not experienced, but somebody who have experience, and the next session, follow-up session, we can demonstrate that. Okay, next time, we are talking about how you can use AI to leverage. Okay, make yourself employable to your dream job. How point okay. So how many first of all you get AI help to prepare your resume and then interview preparation. Then it also helps majorly it helps in mock interview. Mock interview we will cover later, but this is something like mostly a great gift from AI world. Nice overview. Okay. All right. So now we are jumping into how we can use AI in resume preparation. So before getting into AI resume preparation, what is important to secret of getting attention to your resume? The first thing is major corporations they use a software called ATS, application tracking system. So application tracking system, that. So your resume should be adhering to that. The standard follow the resume may not be considered or may be rejected. So you lose an opportunity. So keep that in mind that ATS is being used by many corporations, and not only that. Don't. Hiya, Atamalia.
So okay, I think somebody's speaker noise lagariya.
Okay, that interrupts my again.
Babu mute hoga. Sound noise avara.
Okay. Yeah, thanks, Vishnu. So what is important is, of course, we all know highlight unique and in-demand skills, and it should be very conscious you are again, and it should be easy to read. So AI help that's the point. And as I mentioned, ATS application use healthy. Even if you do use AI and if you blindly copy paste, it can detect. Rather, the ATS can detect, and companies will reject your resume. So be aware of it. So copy paste you have to use AI to improvise your resume. That's the point. Okay. So
one additional information, just in the previous one, on the additional information kind of ATS, what it basically does is, for example, to me, on the company portal, profile upload manual reviews, this becomes a filtering space. For example, application tracking system, through profile, screen carrying, select or reject, at the stage move. So some places companies are relying completely on it, unfortunately. Though it is not completely mature, companies are relying on it. So through profile reading. For example, through information, through profile table there is highly likelihood that you may not get through the ATS. So running text bullet point okay, organize paragraph section organize okay. One of the point what they say is, if you have too many tables, information is presented, it may not go through the ATS. So be mindful of about using the tables when you're preparing your profile.
Yeah, good point. Okay. So how the entire thing is functioning, that I'm saying, no? So what you need is basically your current resume you can give to AI, and you can ask for the optimist resume. It will give you. But if you leave it to AI, it will give whatever he wants. Okay. So I mean, we have to be very clear about what you want to do with your resume, your current resume. So that is one thing. And second thing is, if you want to tailor make your resume for the given target job, tailor make it right. So you can give two different inputs to the AI and DD, then you can push your query and you will get the result. So that's how it works. Okay. So I'm sure you have used it, but number one this will be very useful. Okay. So AI tool, what is AI tool? This one use honestly, but I thought this slide is important for somebody who is new so basically uploading files and reference or training. So provide correct. Okay. So provide correct I will go to ChatGPT page. This is my ChatGPT. Make it bigger. The font size bigger. So it says attach. And the file attach options are there. But when I click attach, it is asking me to log in or sign up. Okay. So what is important here is there are two versions, like signed one, unsigned one. So many times it's good to have a signed one so that you will have your history. Okay. Signed version also.
And signed mainly free option available.
Yeah, it's signed, but you don't have to really pay for it. This is a free one. Okay, this is a signed one. I have signed myself. If you see that, when I click upload, it's asking me to pick my file from there, source of the file. So upload from a computer, or you can give it from Google Drive or Microsoft OneDrive. So that's the difference between signed and unsigned. You can upload a file in a signed version. And signed version, it also maintains history. You see here, let me question you keep as a history. So advantage is you can train your way of answering expecting the answer. So for example, you are in a business job. Most of the time you will be doing business communication. You can train this model. You can train AI saying that any answer you give, please be very professional in some way. Or you are a student, you are fun loving. You can say any answer you give me, please give me very jolly, friendly, and them some way. So if you have signed version, you can train the AI, you can have history, and you can upload files. These are the advantages, and also the other things are available. If you go and see, you can create images, and you can use Canvas as a tool, which is a collaborative and writing and code. These are the features of signed version. Okay, let's sign them, but still it is not paid one. You can just sign up. Paid you want to use it for your development. Paid number one, or your usage is very high, like token. Token with a free version, there's limited number of tokens allowed. Okay, if your usage is very high, then you will exhaust your token. It won't allow you. It will say your token is exhausted. I try after 24 hours. Or maybe after a month, chance of that. Then you go with signed one, then you'll get more number of tokens. So, sorry, paid version. Paid version more, you will get more tokens, and also you will get API to integrate with your application. Suppose you are a program developer, you want application developer, like AI పదిహేను AI open AI API everything available can buy, you can use that. Okay, so this is the difference between signed versus unsigned and paid version. Okay, so paid version I mentioned here. Next, again, word of caution: never input personal or company or someone else details also. Again, suppose somebody sent some details. Tell us, I'm keeping the summary scanner, or you want to ask some question. Don't give the entire thing. It's not mine. Again, the information, if it is personal information, don't give it to AI. For example, full name, phone number, email ID, address, whatever you think personal, don't give. Okay, because at the end of the day, it is going to public forum, and we don't know. They claim that they are not using the user's data, but we'll never know. Okay, so these are about the AI tools. So, me brief can pause. If any question before moving to hands-on.
Sorry, the personal information I didn't get that. So, what the more resume me upload करते हो लेते लम्बा मोरा नाव हो, मोरा email ID LinkedIn profile तेला पर रखने हैं.
So just me, I know. I get some many. I'm going to example that. Hopefully, I have it here. It's a resume. Say, it's now for head to. If for example, like John Doe standard can when sample name John Doe is there, no? You can just remove your name, phone number, email ID. Just give in some format. Okay, Sunny you can avoid. Okay, so don't have your name, phone number, email ID. Not only that, anything related numbers also you can avoid.
But let's say I'm working for Amazon, for example. Amazon is a retail, Amazon, I work for financial tech. So in general, Amazon I can give generally, okay, it's a retailer industry or fintech.
Exactly. Hi, Sunny Scanna. That's the Shangari correct. Sunny Scanna. Don't specify. I work for a retail company, or work for a technology company or automobile company. Without giving the name of the company. Any personal details, your company, your home address, native place. I'm traveling. I'm going to Delhi. Any information never take over. All right. So let's look at live.
Giri, just one thing. The personal data move, when you want to log in, that time itself will be giving your mail ID here. So how do we avoid that? Login your mail ID
information. That you can't log the information to the mail I logged in. This is my personal information is there as a profile. But query there.
Oh, query there.
Yeah, resume submit kari. I want AI to optimize the resume. So resume can now phone number or email for head to for example.
Okay.
Okay. All right. The first thing, thank you for your hands-on kind of if you have a laptop, you can straight away go to chatgpt.com and try it. It should be helpful because immediately, if you're stuck or if you have any good questions, you can post a question out of the fight, which is an hands-on area. Try to use it. Okay, so first thing how to optimize the resume. Very generic. My resume said that I may want to optimize for the reason improve the language or grammar. See the mistakes high, grammatical errors high, or language will be ambiguity and rise. Past and future features sentence, for example. So avoid use for example, on the resume sample resume. Okay, I can go to ChatGPT. Kumamji, optimize my resume or I can simply say correct English and grammar. Resume I pasted the resume and given that, so it's the corrected version of the resume text. Corrected as it will have exactly what we had, and jukku changes hanala mom, because we ask for only language correction. Okay, so it's any order, then you can, all you have to do is copy paste in the Word document and tell it. Okay, tell it. Another way to optimize is expand or project description. May I know time to resume sakka dekhani na clarity dekhani ango add kirwaye project description manadi, you can ask for the project description change. So for example, let me try again from this. So okay, add or improve project description resume sani complete kinjide atavino le more video. Okay, so more kai gana add kirim kana, so you can ask again. Okay, highlight changes. I there is saying more kalani and okay, I don't know, maybe bold in the CI ivar podaran kan change kirim. Okay, okay, here it is added collaborative and senior engineer inside a word section, level bullet point section. Okay, he say added okay, we can have you can have any work done and also get clarification from ChatGPT. Okay, let me sample resume fully me kare. The next time okay, so on the job description holding tell job description holding I mean our resume tell taidan modify karta siya ni puchwai. So tell kai you can like question format prompt select holu I'm my input job description, my reference, my current resume sangiri at the end you can include both of them and see what and you can ask what you want. Okay, optimize resume and
here there is a question from somebody there. I think someone has a question.
Oh sorry, yeah, Deepa RK, yeah. Hi question.
Hi, for a question I know on the prompt divaval mela tumi copy paste karate, so one day while copy paste kare tell improve karata option
care wise, yeah, you have point, yeah, good. Tell them just to maintain kare to some extent. Okay, I mean sign in kare it will maintain forever. I mean because you are a counter name ata want a session you can definitely repeat the question till maintain kare just to maintain kare.
Okay.
You have to be aware about how long it maintains. For example, through conversation when lengthy can generate anedi first kai sange enni tega hodan rana.
Okay.
Kagamna sanasya at behind the screen it is all the LLM with the limit of token tella marna run hele hariya. So tella kona kare enedi adu on a particular limit la irundhu history of your chat chechi delay generation. Okay, so how you will realize is through profile first on instruction area it has given output. Adutha on the question you are getting the output again. One more question the conversation has your profile improved version repeatedly available, so it stays in context. So the original context okay, so that's the limitation you have to be mindful about. So we push away the conversation lengthy and getting what was my first question was the kalana.
Okay. I mean the prompt on the formats so the lamama more improved answer illa change care mean option device or more original gear input illa change care mean in telmagic ID formats prompt
tisakonni on top of அதாவது just natural language language. For example, first on the correction keridi let's say it has corrected the language, improved the language. Okay, so to maybe on that can you make this change also, that on that it takes the meaning and goes to the previous one and takes it.
Okay,
yeah, an example highlight changes in sangiriya so it knows exactly the previous answer and then previous answer first resume optimize resume these changes changes highlight added. It's possible.
Okay.
Okay. So next time, let's customize the resume for the given job description. So like I will go here. I hope I have downloaded this. Imamji, add my file, upload from the computer. So I have the sample resume. Let me color here. And similarly, job description color here. Okay. DADD and what I want. Sorry, I didn't copy that later. This is what I wanted to copy. On the next language, what I want. This is my input. Use this for reference in Sangiri. And I select DADD. Now, go ahead. So here is your optimized resume. Okay. Sorry, let me something. Okay, left hand side. Here is your optimized resume aligned with the job description. Okay. So and I also said my skills in Python, Telebra, emphasize carry many. So he's reiterating. Learn Sangiri, Python proficiency for highlight carry. Let me know if you need any other refinement. So if you see this resume, it will be different from word by word compared to it will be aligned to the job description. So this job is for job description Python and Java developer had been generic software developer probably wouldn't have brought this any software in right? And we mentioned about cloud platform cloud for okay. So this is how we can customize your resume for a given job description. Okay. So I learned. Okay. Next time so main resume the professional summary is very important. Okay. So assuming that this is my professional summary, I want to improvise this. The whole thing you can give as a prompt. Mamji. So this is I given a very simple professional summary. Now he is improvising. Okay. So I am a software engineer. I am a result-oriented software engineer. Emphasize you can get better sentence, better wordings from AI. Okay. Without AI, we need somebody to review, confirm. Review, AI is doing the job, and also AI is helping you to improvise. So major advantage.
Now on the point I consider if you leave, for example, very, very less information without any key element. That on 3+ years experience Sangidriya, I am experienced in API development, debugging, agile method Sangidriya. Playing in the SNSA, what it will do is it will try to give something which we haven't done. Because it has its own understanding of the software engineer understanding pre-trained data entry. Right. So me more profile summary create professional summary create me tell points miss I am using AI just to more writing improve use I am not adding any flavor of what I have not done. Review maybe it has added something which you have not done.
Right.
So that you have to be mindful about.
Yeah. And what is important which is copy paste generic and Sai 3 years experience and he will take that keyboard and put it in this, and copy paste this is a wrong resume and wrong claim.
I think there are questions there.
Yeah.
On the question, ATS mini sangen here. Me me prepare okay. But can I have that access to the ATS so that I can input my updated version? Okay, can they be filtered or not?
ATS access. See, it's for example, to me on a company portal in the apply back end, okay. If there is a ATS, basically on a tracking tool, process automation, one of the elements is screening AI based screening. that we will not know. Anga kaanadalla. So tevchi ata tumi evigino among various social media, be it LinkedIn or the research ಸೇರಿ ಜೂದನ evigino ATS proof profile ಕೋನ ರೆಡಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಮನೆ evigino specific ಸಂಗ. I mean ಅದ ಮೂಡಿ ಮುಂದೆ ಮನೆಗೆ ಟೇಬಲ್ ಗಂದೆ ಅವನ ಆಗಿದೆ ಸಂಗರಿ ತೆಲ್ಲೆ ಮಾರಿ evigino information ಅದು for example avi ಜುಕ್ಕು ಜನರಿಗೆ ತುಮಿ chat GPT ಹೇಳಾರಿ information evigino it can filter out. Okay, and tegahal evigino we have to be clear about what we are saying. First of all, if it is adding அதாவது அவர் அங்க சம்பந்தனித்த ಒಂದು ಆಡ್ ಕರಿತ ಚಾನ್ಸಸ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ ಅವನ ಜೆನ್ is generating, it is showing its creativity. We have to be careful about what we are finally sending to the application.
Okay, thank you.
Correct. Yeah, that's me.
Yeah. See, it will help, if you can explain, for a fresher, how this tool can be helpful, because the problem is, what skills to write and, what knowledge to write. So one example of a fresher, it will help, I think.
Yes, yeah, good point. In fact, what we plan, rather we are interested in doing is, we'll have a resume workshop for freshers. How you can write your resume, use AI to improvise. I'm ready to contact. So if you are interested, I'm your email and share. It's called the software professions at ugb.com.
I think that will be very helpful, Giri. That will be very helpful. That is one area where the requirement is very huge. If, for example, people don't understand what is ATS, what is job description. Yeah, I mean, what does ATS look for, and the do's and don'ts when there is a ATS in picture. So it's a good idea. If you're going to have a separate workshop, I'll keep quiet now.
Yeah. Good suggestion. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, if you are interested, or if you know someone may need help in resume preparation, please write to us. We'll conduct one workshop for them.
My guess is, there are a lot of people in the audience, who are actually freshers.
Right.
Yeah. So maybe, you can do a survey and see that.
Sure.
Maybe you can announce it right now, actually.
Yes, sir. Okay. Thank you. Deepa, you have some question?
Hi. Actually, Mundari put a question is rephrase kari. How do I validate whether my optimized resume will get through the ATS? Just we validate JWT tokens, like whether it is valid or not. Whether will this optimized resume get through for that particular job description? Is there a way to do that?
Okay, so I think the way I understand the question is, okay, I have optimized my resume. Is it good enough for the to pass through the ATS or job?
Yes.
Your question. ATS. ATS. Is your question specific to ATS?
Not ATS, any automated system that would pass the resume.
Okay. See, AI is helping you in optimizing, but it will go through ATS. I'm not sure. Probably we can ask AI. Okay, you have given me the resume. Now you think it will go through any standard ATS file? Probably it will give you the answer. And the other one is, I think, besides ATS, besides AI, there could be sites where you submit your resume and they will tell you it will go through ATS or not. In Sangat site, I heard about it. But I have not.
அதாவது துமி சில ಕಂಪನಿ ಪೋರ್ಟಲ್ ತುಮಿ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಕರತಳು ಸಿ ತೆನು ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕ್ಲೇಮರ್ ತೈದನ್ your application will be validated by our team with thaidingino not through AI giri explicit consent. Okay, because ATS is quite fuzzy. The Gen AI recently in our everybody is trying to jump on it to prepare some or other solution. So one of the solution is ATS. They have जो company नवीना adapt करते try कर रही है. To me, recently some company HR head, I forgot the name, I think L&T, some company HR head given a statement about how Gen AI has helped in improving their productivity of recruitment process. So tell on the direction, but yet industry knows that it is fuzzy. They have some company careful we are not using AI explicit consent. ரெண்டாவது மேவிங்கன்னு இமாம் சியாசன சேவைங்கன்னு there are only tips and tricks shared how to make your profile ATS proof create. There is no solid method or thumb rule, right? So the whatever tips we are telling in terms of copy paste kannanga nenu saving just generated content check karnanga table liknanga sangare, these are typical tips and tricks, but there is no method or thumb rule to get through the ATS because as such the system is having fuzzy concept. It is not matured enough.
Okay, one side information I know. Go ahead, yeah.
ನೀನು ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ಸ್ ಹಂಗೆ ಮಲ್ಲೆಯ
Go ahead.
ಅದು ಅವಿನು ಒಂದು ಜಾಬ್ಗೆ ಅವಿನು ಒಂದು 50 ರೆಸ್ಯೂಮೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ರಾಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ತೊಗೊಳಂಗ ಒಂದು 5 ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ಸ್ ಅದ 50 ರೆಸ್ಯೂಮೆ ಅವರ ಸಿ ಮನಸ್ಯ ತಲ್ಲ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜರ್ ಕೋನ್ ಅವಿನ್ ಹೈರ್ ಕರನ್ ಜಾರಿಗೆ ತನ್ನ ತಲ್ಲ 50 ರೆಸ್ಯೂಮೆ ಸಿಗಿನು ತಲ್ಲಾಮ್ ಕೊಲ್ಲ ಫಿಟ್ ರಸ್ಮಿನ್ ಸಿಗಿನು ಒಂದು 20 பேர் லங்கு ஷார்ட் லிஸ்ட் கரி இன்டர்வியூ கரன் தம் அமௌண்ட் 10 பேருக்கு இன்டர்வியூ போவி செலக்ட் करता வாய்ப்பு ಸತ್ತ ಬಟ್ ತೆಲ್ಲೇಸಿ 5 பேர் ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಗೆ 1000 ರೆಸ್ಯೂಮೆ ಅವೆಸ್ ಮನದಿ ತಲ್ಲ ಹೈರಿಂಗ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜರ್ ಅವಿನ್ ತಲ್ಲ 1000 ರೆಸ್ಯೂಮೆ ಬಿಸಿ ಸ್ಕ್ರೂಟನೈಸ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆತಮ್ ಸುನಾ ಸೊ ತೇ ಬದಲು ಒಂದು ಅಸಿಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ಗೆ ಬಿಸಡಿನು ಶಾಬ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮೊರ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಮೆಂಟು ಎಲ್ಲಗ ಅವಿನು ಎಲ್ಲ ರೆಸ್ಯೂಮೆ ಪೂರ ಫಿಟ್ ಹೋಯ್ಯ ಮೀನ್ ಸಿಗಿನು ಕೊಲ್ಲ ಫಿಟ್ ಹೋಗಿ ತಲ್ಲ ಮಟ್ಟಂ ದೇ ಮೆಣಸಂಗನು ತಲ್ಲ ಅಸಿಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಅವಿನ್ ಕಾಯಿ ಪುಸರಸ್ ಮನದಿ ತುಂಗ ಕಾಯಿ ಎದುರು ಸಾರಿಯ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ಗೆ ಮನದಿ ತನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ ಸೆಟ್ ಮೋ ಪಜೆ ತಲ್ಲ ರಿಯ ಸಂಗಿ ಮೆಂತಿ ಜೇಡಿಯ ಮನದಿ ತಲ್ಲ ಅಸಿಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ते ಕಾಯಿ ಕಳಾರಸ್ಕಿ ತಲ್ಲ ರೆಸ್ಯೂಮೆ ಅಂಬರಿ ಕಾಯಿ ಇವರು ಪುಡರಸ್ಕಿ ತಲ್ಲ ತಾನು ಫಿಲ್ಟರ್ ಗೆರೀನು ಈಕೆ ಪಜೆಗಿ ತಿಕೆ ಮಟ್ಟಂ ತಲ್ಲ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜರ್ಗೆ ಜೇಡಿ ಅತ ಎಲ್ಲ ಅಸಿಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಮನರಿ ಒಂದು ಮೆನಿಗೆ ಬದಲು ಹಿಂದವಿನ್ ATS ಮಿನಿ ಒಂದು ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ವೇರ್ ಯುಟಿಲಿಟಿ ತಲ್ಲ ಯುಟಿಲಿಟಿ ಜೋಳು ಎಲ್ಲ ಜಾಬ್ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಗೂ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ಸ್ ಪಜ ಹೊರಿಯ ಮೆನಿ ಮುಟ್ಟಂ ಸಂಗಿಗಿನ ತೀಡಿಯ ಮನದಿ ತೆಲ್ಲ ರೆಸ್ಯೂಮೆ ಪೂರ ಇವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯುವೇಟ್ ಕೆರಿ ते ಕಾಯಿ ಇವರು ಪುಡರಸ್ಕಿ ತೆಲ್ಲ ಬೇಸ್ ಕೆರಿ ಫಿಲ್ಟರ್ ಕೆರಿ ತುಂಗಾವಿನ ರೆಸ್ಯೂಮೆ ತೀಡಿ ಅದಾವುದು ಹೈರಿಂಗ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜರ್ಗೆ ದರೋಡೆ ಅದಾವಿನ ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಸಂಗುಸ್ मी अविन ಒಂದು ಹೋಟೆಲ್ चलता गिरिया मोर होटल अविन ಒಂದು ब्रोटा मास्टर पजा हो रही है संगू थोड़ो मी इनो अप्लिकेशन मावरिया कौन इंट्रेस्टेड की दड्डू अबामनी अदल्ला ಒಂದು 1000 பேர் ದಡ್ಡ ರಾಸ್ಮಿಲ್ವ मोराल इकू तंग बोई वतगिरी ब्रोटा केरतकलाया मिनी सिले रातम सुना सो मी ATS चल संगरे मो ब्रोटा मास्टर पजा हो रही है तनाविन मैदा कल्ली ब्रोटा गिरी दना हो रही है तले दक्का मीन संगीदे मनदी तेल रेज्यूमे कल्ली कौन ब्रोटा में तैरासी कौन मैदा में तैरासी कौन अवीनु कुकिंग में तैरासी तेल पूरा फिल्टर केरीनु डेरस में थोलुव अद उंडदन अवीनु वेन सोफिस्टिकेटेड लिखीनु I am familiar in all South Indian dishes many mutum tairas millo tana brota masam tairani ni are I have worked I have experience in working in evening mutton stall. I have done all the catering there. Many mutum tairas milloga. Tala ATS evening mutton stall sayi brota dekani millai. But avanga avinu on the evening mutton stall main item brota manada kalai. So ami humans athavel tala okay ಎಲ್ಲ ರೆಸ್ಯೂಮೆ ಫಿಟ್ ಹೋಯ್ ಮೀನ್ ಸಂಗುವೆ ಬಟ್ ATS ಕಾಯಿಗರೆ ಮನಸ್ಯ ತೆಲ್ಲ ರೆಸ್ಯೂಮೆ ಫಿಟ್ ಹೋಣಂತ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಕ್ಲೂಡ್ ಹೋಗಿ ಅಟ್ ದ ಸೇಮ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಆಮಿ ಅವಿನು ಜೋಳು ಎಲ್ಲ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಮೆಂಟು ಮೊರ ರೆಸ್ಯೂಮೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ATS ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಲಿಗೆ ಕೆರಿದೆ ತಮ್ಸಯ್ಯ ಮನಸ್ಯ ತೆಲ್ಲ ಅವಿನು ATS ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ವ್ಯೂ ಮರಿ ಓರಳವು ತೇಕಳೆ ನಾಲ್ಕು ತಿಂಕೆರೆ ತೆಲ್ಲ ಸಂಗೈ ಎಸ ಎಲ್ಲ ಜಾಬ್ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಮೆಂಟು ब्रोटा मास्टर में मैरासी तो ब्रोटा मास्टर संबंध में ब्रोटा मनते तैरनी तो अविनु मे बी ब्रोटा ऐड करस्या तो रेज्यूमे शॉर्ट लिस्ट होता चांस रहता है मीन संगीदी तो मैं ओके आई हैव एक्सपीरियंस इन ऑल साउथ इंडियन डिशेस इंक्लूडिंग ब्रोटा मीन तैसिया तल वैल्यू ऐड गन रही ಇಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಸಂಗರಿಯ ಎಲ್ಲೇ ಮಾರಿ ಒಂದು ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ವೇರ್ ಜಾಬ್ ಹೋಗ್ದಿ ನೀ ಎನಿ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಜಾಬ್ ಹೋಗ್ದಿ or any job that requires specific skills तुम्ही resume देता वेळो त्याला job description read केरी this kind of content may be fitting or this kind of content may be expected by the ATS so त्याला पूरा add केरवो many सांगता chances येता that is what AI is helping us do त्याला मे बी आम्ही ह्युमन सातवळ आम्ही इग्नोर करवाय बट ये अवी ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೀವರ್ಡ್ ತಾವೋ ಮನಿ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ करे
Good Balaji. Very tasty example. So nice. Okay. Very good. Thank you. Yeah, further question I will see Arun Prasad and Dwarnath. Hello. मैं अनम्यूट के लिए बताना पड़ेगा. Okay. And this correct traffic.
One question na ta sanga pa. Hello, I can't say. Hello.
Sango.
I got a Sango. Hello. कौन द्वार का क्या तुम आते रहिया गाय गए थे. Hello. I got it क्या. मैं लगा मैं तेरा I got it. Okay.
आवो संगो.
So one question na.
I got it. Sango. I got it Sango.
Kurina. Yeah. What I explained kare that's really fantastic. But on the challenge ka hai mna di me on the pattu tham apply kar rahe log I cannot tailor my resume according to 10 different things. But job desk as a tech lead, team lead, talamari or manager, engineering manager mantalu I cannot tailor to each of this in our job description, right? So kadana extra mera kadana way much mera is so talamari kar it's kind of little challenging for an applicant to maintain kollar kai resume that team na ta wo prachana hai, right?
Very good point. It's very more practical problem and also they don't recommend we quality job experts can sangan don't tailor make resume for every job you lose track. Number one, good point right. So kai suggest kara apne me odalo atte gareya le good point mo then kai singe apne job description atha you are looking for a job of this kind don't go and take up a job in Google or maybe particular Facebook kalnanga. You make a job description of your dream job and tailor make your resume for that job in Manas.
Okay.
Saniketwa.
Multiple year heavy track kirana nariya it's quite practical adavadu nee char date apply kartala char different profile dire track kirana but at the same time to be mavarious at Balaji Sange sonna to me product kiran as part of your evening mutton style experience quite ondana I mean unfortunately at the ATS kunwai mundari human being HR team recruitment team keyword search kittigino sodante kani right. Forget AI. If you want to get through the screening which is done by let's say people who have less experience about the domain management say keyword rana correct. Yeah. So for example recruitment team say just keyword search kiti screen out ketran whereas tela profile thura direct navi recruitment manager hiring manager hadam jiri shortlist karna nando kana tinga kalai ella management this is what it means kiri. So it's a typical challenge not because of AI, it is a classical problem. Me guys and more suggestion management say the core part of resume touch kanna core part of resume your whatever project contribution you have done tella pura touch kanna tagavi the initial page like the initial page what skill to highlight तुम्ही यादिन कोण summarize कराया. For example तुम्ही project management program management में लिख रहा technical management में लिख रहा असली मरहा लिखा था मुझना तो उन job में technical management focus when से मैंने सुना तेगदाना at least first page tailor करी दे रही है it's a better choice it is not because of AI at all, it is because of the way how screening works unfortunately. What I would say is AI is going to be very helpful in doing that first page. ಅದು ಒಂದು ಸಮ್ಮರಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಜಾಬ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕ್ರಿಪ್ಷನ್ ಹೋಯದಾನ ಮಚ್ಚಿದೆ ಕಾಟ್ನ ಮಚ್ಚಿದೆ ಗರೈ 4 ವರ್ಷಂ ಪುಸುವ 4 ಮಾಲ್ ಸಂಗ ಇದಲ್ಲ ಎல்லாம் ಕೋಣಿಗೆ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಗರಸಿ that we can take it and use it. We have to keep track of it. There is no other go.
Okay.
And to the resume whether it is done by AI or तुम्ही कर रही नहीं तो कोणती उन्होंने हेल्प कर रहा इसकी end of the day तुम्ही read के रिसेसिया you should be able to justify whatever is written in that. And आता एल्लमाम उंडा मी तायरसी तेला बत्ती उंडा क्वेश्चन आवस मनसिया मोराल कॉन्फिडेंट गन आंसर करता मुसई मनसिया तेला थवो ನೀ ಎಲ್ಲ ಏರಿಯಾ ಮವಿನ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್గా లవర్ ని మనసే తల హెట్టు సమ్టైమ్స్ ఏ విను ఫ్యాన్సీగా నాంద మంది కైది ఉండే యాడ్ करे ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾರಿ ಜಾಬ್ಗೆ ವಿನ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾರಿ ಮಿನ್ಗೆ ಅಪ್ಲೈ कर रासी तो जी तुम्हें मिली तावागा मनी उंडा सांगे बट तेला तुंगा रेलेवेंट గా राहना तो जवाई सो ते आज के तवरास में तुम्ही ताईने मनी आवश्यम नी ताई तेला ఒకవేళ నెగటివ్ గా మిలి జాత ఛాన్స్ ಇದೆ సో ఎండ్ ఆఫ్ ద డే तुम्ही तेला ವ್ಯಾಲಿಡೇಟ್ केरीस
Yeah, of course. Tele setesi. The kai horosmanadi sometimes even at the Kalayaman can totally with their recommendation. Jadi kami interview process kai horosmanadi. Oh, super encouraged by overqualified methods. That's what I am saying. So Telamam reject for us. That's experience that I had.
ఉండే విను ఒకవేళ కంప్లీట్ గా టైలర్ మేడ్ గా రేమల్లి డౌట్ అవి ఇక్క పర్ఫెక్ట్గా కొంది ఉండ జాబ్ రోల్ ఫిట్ అవుతాం చెయ్యామని ಸೊ ತೆಲ್ಲಮಿಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಫ್ಲಾಗ್ ರೈಸ್ करे जुगाड़ स्कूटी चल रहा सो डाल दीवाल में अभी ना उन रेज्यूमे शेयर करे
ये पावनासम पड़म मनेगे तुमको परफेक्ट है क्या डाउट है
సో తెవళ్ళు ఎక్స్ట్రా స్క్రూటినీ కరను నార్మల్గా ఇంటర్వ్యూ మవిను రిలాక్స్గా నానతో వేన్ స్ట్రిక్ట్గా నింపేసాను నిజము ఇలా కిర్రస్యా మనం మరి
Okay.
తెల్లమరిమిలి చల్ల
Filter filter get picture JD you should have the talent to speak about that one, whatever you mentioned in the profile resume.
Okay, 8:20 here say we'll have to move on. Okay, so question answer following,
So one question in this context is, let's say I have a resume. Now, can I use AI to reverse check and see what are the jobs I am suitable for?
Yeah.
Can I ask the AI to tell me what are the jobs I am suitable for based on this resume?
Correct. I mean, I heard of some sites, AI enabled job portal. That's what I heard. Okay.
With the ChatGPT, it can be done. For example, ChatGPT saving, instead of making an open-ended question, actually one of the example later section plan how far my profile is suitable for this job we can ask. So for example, through chat punch job description say, but you are in confusion. What will be more suitable in a sense? You can check. Open-ended process in a plenty of answers will come which is not relevant at all. Our profile DD, cookie on a farm corner movie, I would have written, I don't know, some cloud. You can become cloud architect. Common say architecture, embedded architecture on the farm, cloud on the farm, link. So instead of that, better approach would be to see, this is my profile, this is my skill set, these are the job description, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, which I have shortlisted, where it is relevant, which is more suitable in process, and say it can give a better answer.
So I'll tell you the context where I am coming from. See, most of the people I have interviewed have not been able to defend their resume. So they think, they are suitable for a project manager post. So, but then the resume, also says that, they can do project management, but they are not suitable. They are not able to defend. So that is where I am coming from. So can you use AI to validate this?
True. Validate career how we have thought to take the help of AI that's what in the consecutive sections we are going to see how we can utilize the AI to prepare myself for interview. For example, self check. If it is not suitable, AI itself can tell you, for example,
Wonderful. So if you're going to cover in the next, I think, I'll make a note of it and just keep quiet now. Thank you.
Okay, then. Good. We'll go ahead. Next, Mama. Next, the interview preparations with the AI. Okay. So interview preparation time, we know, like research and of a particular roles and responsibilities. Okay, I want to become a customer success engineer. What is customer success engineer? Responsibility we can have a better, that's how we can do the interview preparation. And also learn about the company product and technology. I mean, then you will be easily exposed, saying that you have no knowledge, and they will think that you are not interested in the company. You just want a job or something, which is not good again. Okay. Then another important thing is fitment. ಎಲ್ಲ ರೋಲ್ಗೂ am I good fit ಅನ್ನೋದು ಕಾರಣ ಹೋಗುವ. ಅದು ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಕಸ್ಟಮರ್ ಸಕ್ಸಸ್ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರ್ ಮಿಂತ್ಯ ಕಾಯಿ ಕಸ್ಟಮರ್ ಸಕ್ಸಸ್ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರ್ ಸಕ್ಸಸ್ಫುಲ್ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರ್ ಮಿಂತ್ಯ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಏರಿ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟೆಡ್ ಇನ್ ಇಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ದ ಕಸ್ಟಮರ್ or customer daily basis no, then you are not fit for that. So given your experience and given the job description, you have to understand the fitment. Talaga AI use environment point. Okay, and you can also use AI for very important questions like introduce yourself. Introduce yourself panadike I mean this is the very generic open-ended question. I'm telling a sample saying so that telamar questions answer AI halluai based on our job description. I mean the job description we're targeting, resume or the role I'm playing. For example, I'm a project manager key or team lead key or I'm a service engineer key, and sorry I'm we can understand. I mean we can get AI's help to get the narrative like introduce yourself. And of course technical questions definitely practical why, and we will also see star questions. Okay, star metric I mean given a subject or scenario, what task you have done and what actions you have taken and what was the result. We'll see in detail in next coming slides more. And of course AI will help you to be understanding the latest trends in the technology in your domain. Okay, so the first time at the narrative of hands-on. Okay, mom time narrative. The hands-on you can go and right now type and see what it produces. Okay, when you say tell about yourself, tell important so I'll entire thing I'll take as a prompt. Okay, a job description I'm going to give a job from Microsoft and engineer software engineer 2 position. So itself is not clear yet. Software engineer 2 mane kaya we don't know. Okay, so we'll see what ChatGPT will say here. Okay. So first I will say it's saying that this is for tell me about yourself. So Kai Sangarati, brief introduction. What introduce Kelwai? Okay, I'm a software engineer with 3 years experience, etc. Then he talked about key expertise and technical skills. So how to bring in the technical AWS Cloud Mokla, GCP, Google Cloud Prime, plus other things like technical stuff. Then you can solve problems and know what have you achieved in terms of let's say percentage. So never sangwai when you are tell about yourself. Of course, agile methodology you are very familiar with the then you can yourself can show your excitement, which will also tell the interviewer that you are you think you are fit and you are ready to take up the roles and responsibilities. So elamari hirwai ella tholi ata tell about yourself kaya the general kind it is so it is like as I said it's an open-ended question now. There's nothing like right or wrong, but what is important is you use that as icebreaker. Okay, but amari uneasy and interviewer can think of hali element hangatolu interviewer so interesting based on your question your answer, or you can highlight few points which will impress him. So that is one thing. And tell about yourself the entire interview will be very good because you have control over the interview session. You don't know what to say, kind of a disconnection, you will have a difficulty. Like so she is asking about your experience, past 3 years experience. But if you start from your college or your native town, that is not suitable for this interview area. So another improvised what we can do is relevant media. You can say summarize this in say 10 sentences. So further I will introduce this is how we can use AI for any particular narrative that you want to set. Okay.
Another possibility for example more skill set job description and it is giving me a narrative for introducing myself. I can even say I would like to highlight more about my technical management skills. menasana talaga aunta version de idalla. So beyond all this,
I mean, I told you Vishnu Sangari Mari, I have taken, so summarize calculation says sometimes no, it will be different for startup culture. You can say, okay, change it to suit to startup culture. It will tell you. So startup culture, so typically they'll expect you to do any amount of work, time, day per son. So nice culture, you are fit for dynamic work environment and you are self-reliant on the married word brown this and that. So Vishnu, I think technical management.
Technical management.
Yeah, okay. Telamali, you can say that. Bring out my technical management skills. It will tell you. So this is how we can bring out the key answers to the, answers to the key questions. Okay, so this is very useful. Oh, sorry, these slides for this. Okay. Another one I know, what type of anticipating questions interview JD? So, for example, I know, again, give the job description and asking, okay, this is an account assistant position. Okay, can you give me any related questions? Okay, so time shortage, I'm going to skip few things. 8:30 and Vishnu is going to cover mock-up interview, so that is very important too. Okay, so you get an idea. Which I'm going to skip this. I have HR interview. This is very important. The HR interview. Salary for how you can negotiate from the point. It will give you good tips. Okay, you can even research and go through the different sites and pull out the salary details. All question salary in the range you can see that. I'm sure you are all familiar with the Glassdoor type of sites where they can talk about the salary range. And another important thing do you have any questions for us? Again, formality can help. How you can utilize this question to show that your interest or your understanding about the roles and responsibilities. You can make use of it. Okay, can you give me better questions for when interviewer asks me, do you have any questions? So these are the major advantages. Okay. Another important thing, product research and company research. If, for example, we can say that I got an offer from this big company of India. A position in data engineer, provide me 5 key points about the company. Company whether we are going to join or not, because big crunch, again person Kimari Kalarina, friends of some there is a big help of AI. So company overview, they are into NFT technology and they are based in Germany, and also they have branches in various places. And this company is 6.75 million funding amount. So this is very important for a company like startup company like this, and what type of product they are offering and sell. Okay, and you can even go further saying that what type of work culture they have if you want. Okay. And another thing I want to, Vishnu, I'll make it fast, okay, because you need this half an hour. Another thing, what I want to do, take my job description, my resume, and I have a job position at Joho. This is related to payroll product, and I have a position at Cisco, it's IoT product, where I fit my position. I fit better, and you can even do a comparison. At the end, you can say, tell me which position suitable for me. I have done it offline. Definitely, it tells me exactly where I am fitting. So,
example, maybe even if it takes time, you can go through, because I think this is what is precisely answering in Dwaraganath question.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So first I know I'm Tiger in there. It's first question. Okay. Could you share insights about Zoho? Zoho pati tekana horia. They have a product called payroll product, and tell how my fitment. That time it's called my resume is healthy. I'm sure he will have my resume, and let's see what he does. Okay. So now payroll overview, the product and then alignment with your skills. So this is very useful because more kind of data analysis more I have done reporting or I have done automation. So I look at CV. Oh, good. This looks like a good question for me. On that overall, we will get an idea. So now another friend is saying, hey, come on the questions at that. Will you be interested? Latest technology, IoT and now you are curious. Okay, can I try this question? Again, you can go here and say that. Okay, again, he's talking about the product, IoT Maneka, I am brief introduction area, and then future potential, IoT technology phone of future potential, and alignment. And again, I mean, here data integration management, edge computing, something higher, so doubt for you, but eventually, like, she give the explanation, you will understand what it is. Okay, then again, automating, scripting for our system integration, so it's good. So, Kai Sangar, so this Cisco IoT production robust platform, and you can make career in then now the question comes between Cisco, Joho and Cisco. Okay, which is suitable for me, which is good for me? Kai Sangar saying. Okay, choosing between zone largely depends on your long-term career goal. Understood, but still he's not getting to the point. He's playing very diplomatic and answer career. Okay. Focus, role fit, plus English area. Okay.
Tell me based on my skill set, Kirisanko.
Hi. Okay. Which is suitable based on my skill set. Okay. Here, your skill set has this. Okay. So alignment is low. Okay. Then different things like agile methodology, Cisco already IoT and edge computing and data management. Okay, which is more suitable based on Joho is better fit based on this question. Cisco is more suitable based on this. Okay, if you want to shift your focus in some area, the conclusion: Joho appears to be better fit for you at the end. Okay, you are based on the skill set. Okay, so then he talks about Cisco offers a great opportunity cutting edge. Okay, but this is important. Conclusion. And if you narrow down further, saying that like say you don't have IoT experience memory, then he will be further sure. Cisco will be a second option. Ultimately, Zoho is a better match if you are more focused on cloud-based software solution. Unless you want to shift from cloud-based telemar technology, I want to shift to IoT, obviously, then you have to express your interest. I want to move to IoT and edge technology in January, edge computing in January. Can I be suitable? Then his answer will be different. But based on our skill set, at least he is concluding. His conclusion is very good.
So, point to time the main thing is, our skill set we are feeding right from the beginning. Modify from the beginning, skill set it is not something imaginary. Second thing, what basis it needs to see. For example, future career goals more skill set we are taking it in a required path. So GenAI or chatbot, it is capable of quite a lot of things. That's where our prompting comes into picture.
Okay. Yeah, this is another very generic idea. Say you are talking about product manager in AI company. So, Karan, you can ask this question and you will get answer to this. Okay. So I'll move to next one because this is important. Okay. So, star question. Please help in answering the interview question. That's all I know. So, how would you manage? The interviewing job. So many times what they do is they ask for they will ask the question based on what you have done. Okay. So tell them, in your design consider okay. In your design consider you have constraints. Now, how would you optimize the design without impacting functionality? Okay, so I'm going to answer saying, for example. See, what is important, see, people can answer in any way, but how convincing it is, right? AI helpful. Okay, so Kai Sangarasi. So he is giving these few steps. Okay, me Kai Keru or Keruai, define constraints. So priority score functionality. So Sanipur and that this information really digest it well. You can present yourself, you can articulate in the interview very well. Step by step and Sangaria. Step 1, define constraints. And first time let me understand the constraint. Then when you have constraint, first let me understand the constraint and requirement. You ask customer or your user define constraint. What's the constraint? Then based on that, you can prioritize constraint. Then identify the bottleneck. How we can unblock. What is the bottleneck? Unblock next, basically, if it is software related or anything, optimized code, important thing is resource allocation scaling. You need a resource also. So, address then how we can available resource efficiently use. Then monitor and continuous improvement. Okay. So, important time, see, now suddenly you have more information to share and to give us an answer. Okay, so what companies look for, how you are understanding about the question. Okay, how much you are relating to your experience and you are able to articulate. So AI, like a useful contact. Now, when you go to the summary of what he gave you, the points he gave you, you can definitely come out with what was the situation for this defense consideration. Rather the constraint, and what was the task and what action you have taken. What was the outcome? Rather, what was the result? Okay, so star. Remember the star word. So you should anytime your customer is asking interviewing questions, remember star. And one side tip community, don't answer your question more than 2 minutes. Okay, because they're not here to hear you for all the interview, only one question. They have to give opportunity to the interviewer to ask more questions. Okay, so if you want to tell more, you can ask him. Okay, can I pause or you want me to give further? Okay, and when they ask this type of question, they're not exactly expecting a solution. They want to see how your thought process. So AI helps you to give excellent way of thinking through the problem or thinking through the solution. So that is where AI stands out very well. Okay, this is very useful, Nagalaya. Okay, with this, again, interview preparation conclude karadia. Next, before going to mock interview, any questions so far? Okay. Yeah, anytime you can raise your hand. Yeah, go ahead, Arun.
Yeah, actually, I had a doubt. Sorry for interrupting in between. Like, so far you have given examples like for a tech stack developer or some developer related to software. I have a doubt. Let's say I'm into operations and I worked in a certain process with like 2 or 3 years of experience. Then I worked as a senior associate in another company. So to me, to develop as a operations manager, like we कोणा सांगता म्हणती आता on the company's requirement दुसरा मार राही and process having it depends on the company and what are the business they are doing on it. So to me become as a operations manager, me on the company head as म्हणती requirements kin the process a bit different kan rahi. And for the fact that I can't stay in a same single company for long tenure and I can't get promoted and that can't be the right way, as I think. So at the point of view, me resume create kenna mani sangar order as like what are the points you can suggest me? You will suggest me to do. Like so far for a software developer, you have certain tech skills like you mentioned Python, something like that, and you can go as in a goal in that way. But for related to operations, apart from software side, like can you give me some examples?
Yeah, so see, ChatGPT is quite. You can ask varieties of questions. Like you can say that I'm in this operations and I'm following this standards. So can you give me more detailed, elaborate resume or points based on the principles why. Or you can say that, okay, these are the standard science we are following, process that we are following, and can you give additional or supplementary process need? So what you have in your mind, just verbalize and ask the question. It is capable of answering that. So that's the beauty of Gen A. So तुम्ही आता मोड say itself you can put it in English and ask that he will give you.
Okay. For example, Arun, तुम्ही एवढी हे operations मध्ये एवढी how I see similarly तुम्ही कोण एवढी operations कडले असणार company to company process different राहे, standard different राहे. Exactly, yeah. Same applies in technical job also. And every core skill, for example, Python मध्ये Python, but ఒక్కొక్క company ఒక్కొక్క process சொல்றான், ఒక్కొక్క company ఒక్కొక్క guideline சொல்றான், standard சொல்றான். So that differs. So the organization specificity, industry specificity is applicable even in technical job. Okay, it is not something generalized throughout. So that's where the variety comes into picture. आता आम्ही so far काय केले म्हणजे core element which is generic मुतून खडी we have tried to map. For example, same skill set Zoho मोठा jobs असतात, Cisco मोठा jobs असतात, core suitable त्यांच्या job description तरी compare करी तिला सांगारे. Similarly, it can be done in your operations job opportunity also. For example, तुम्ही operations मध्ये admin process handle कर रहा से or another procurement process handle कर रहा से that becomes two different skill set. Yes. So exactly त्याला काढली तुम्ही on the job description it is more about procurement in a sense through suitability saying हे म्हणते तुम्ही काढलो. Okay. Thank you.
Good. All right. Yeah, Vishnu, you can take over. You can start sharing.
Okay.
And maybe stop करेगा.
तुम्ही accept करना सुचेगा. Because since I'm a guest.
Okay. Yeah, कोणी और नहीं मगा.
I'll share the resource.
Okay, yeah, outer yeah.
Or screen hours के?
Hours, yeah.
It's visible, yeah? Should I go ahead?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so so far I'm काय say मैंने समझा AI थोड़ी on a profile prepare करवाए, fine tune करवाए. Then we also saw how to get ready for an interview by anticipating questions and things like that. Okay. After we can also see how to use the Gen AI to make a mock interview before I appear for the real interviews, because that is going to be really helpful. Okay, so that's what we are going to see. Okay, there's some just through opinion. And the couch mock interview can first of all, why there is a need. Just unmute getting the views and go. Anybody, any thought?
Like exactly how we are going to proceed in an interview, and are we able to answer the questions what the interviewer might throw? So
okay. So questions are anticipate करता हूँ सर scan here. Are we able to answer questions? Okay. then on the point of दूसरा.
Standard questions format or the role of questions sorry idea.
Okay, so standard gun question again our role. Yeah, there are many reasons. Okay, I'll just list some of them. Okay, first of all, mock interview we all agree we get nervous before an important meeting. Even for this presentation, before presenting, we get kind of nervous and we try to prepare something and things like that. It is quite natural. We are not like, superhumans to be confident always. So that is where mock interview better. Ultimately, the fresher stage in friends will help. Interview to mock interview funny college time friends and help on a stage movie experience 3 years, 5 years, 10 years experience question help because we get afraid. I mean, we are afraid of others' opinion about us. tela kai hoyegi. That is exactly where Gen AI can play a role, okay, and it can help you to have your own evaluation. Okay, so to be honest, on anticipate kelvaye, self-evaluate kelvaye. So Gen AI is going to help, and sometimes we feel we are experts because day in day out on the job, we kelle say 5 years on kelle say we feel we are experts. But even for expert, anga sila unknown area high say better way of explanation we may not realize. That's where mock interview is going to help. Okay, another important point is refine ಗೆಲ್ವೈ fine tune ಗೆಲ್ವೈ ಈ ತೆಲೆ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ತೆಲೆದಾಗ ಕೋಣ better than some to be experience kerranu ತರ career nu even you would have heard from others ಕೆಲ ಜಾಬ್ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಕೆರ್ರಸಿ somehow ಮಾವಿ ಕೋರ್ವೇಗನ್ ಸಂಗತ ಅವರ ನೀಗಿರಿ so ತೆಲಗ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಕೆರ್ತವೆ mock interviews going to help. Okay, how AI can do mock interview the so far I'm say chatbot tool, it can kind of helping me as a assistant to improve something, write something. We use it as an assistant. It played a role of assistant. Okay, the same chat GPT or anything, Gemini, any chatbot, it can do a role play. If the role play it's a small trick. You can get into a role play. Okay, that is exactly the feature what we are going to use to make it as a perfect interviewer. Okay, other to me, Arun Puse Madri, it is quite versatile. I mean, Sange, to me, ChatGPT question pushes to me time. How much data you are trained on Pusias and said, tell us some terabytes of data, Sange, some hundreds of TB of data, Sange. Ticket data across various industry, across various spectrum, it can be art, technology, everything it's trained. So it becomes a knowledge base for it in terms of versatile information. So tell how on a corner think mock interview, any role it can do. Okay, only thing it is not going to be knowing about that company specific information, product specific information, but otherwise it can do. Okay, and I mean, profile interview preparation. One kind of thumb rule what we followed is we give the relevant information, key details, job description area. Here also we'll have to give. Okay, and the role play instruction clear and then now. ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾದರಿ ಪಜೆ ಹೊರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಏರಿಯಾ ಫೋಕಸ್ ಕೇರ್ಗಿರಿ ಸಂಖ್ಯೆ ಅದು ಡೆಮೋ ದಕ್ಕಡು ವಿವೇಕ್ ಅಂದೇ ಕೋಣ ಹೈ ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕ್ ಅಂದೇ ಕೋಣ ಇಂತೆಲ್ಲ ಪರ್ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಕರದ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ದೇ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿ. And finally, it can provide a objective evaluation, meaning it will clearly say to me every point to me ella sange correcting in hamatevi, it can come to a conclusion and give you an evaluation. This is exactly where the benefit of Gen AI comes into picture because there is no judgment here. Okay, many occasions ami avi dusrambaji opinion pusattagavi kauchi first place biravanedi. This is because of the judgment element. ಅವ್ರ ಬತ್ತಿ ಕಾಯಿ ಕಳ್ದಂಗೆ ಕಾಯಿ ತಪ್ಪು ಅಂದ್ಮೇಲ್ದಂಗೆ it's a machine, it's a bot, it doesn't have anything, so it can still do a job because of its nature. Okay, so this is what we are going to see. Okay, let's try something. Meanwhile, if you have some question, I think even a hand raised, sir.
Yeah, I had a question. Actually, it was answer to the previous question. Why mock interview? But it can become a question for how can AI do mock interview? So can it create challenge situations? See, sometimes interviewer want to pressurize you, ask challenging questions.
Exactly.
So can AI be used for that?
It can. It can. To role play you can set a tone saying that. Again, example carry the kudusi. We can even try to improvise saying that. Give me tricky questions, madam.
Okay.
Arun, any question tunga? Okay, fine. So first trick for getting a role play. Okay, so Gemini movie, okay, ChatGPT I'll just show Gemini so that you'll also get a flavor of it. You just to pusari loga, who are you will choose it? Okay, I am like LLM, I can do content writing and I can draft messages, blah blah blah, whatever singular series. Okay, my parallel and out of them, we prompt a type it fully so that I can be quick. So copy paste levels. That's my other type question. I am planning to buy. Then what can I do for you, sir? It's very generic. I want to buy a lens for my digital SLR camera. Okay, that's exciting. Buying a lens kit, what you have to consider. Primarily to maybe kai purpose to portrait the budget generic information. Okay, so far it has not really got into any role. It is just playing the assistant. Okay, after the I will give it a flavor by giving one more prompt. LA question, I'm not going to say anything more. I will just say you are an expert photographer with great knowledge about DSLR and photography techniques. Now you see the difference. Okay. Consider yourself digital darkroom field assistant rolled into one. I've observed the countless articles, blah, blah, blah. So now it has taken the shape of an expert. How it is taking? Because it is trained on various information, it has everything. Initially, our question mottum prompt to answer generate try expert view DSLR photography techniques explain. Okay, let's begin with photography questions. Now you get into the details of what do you want. Okay, now let me say another thing. Now, if he is an expert, I'm going to ask him write an article about choosing a right lens for wildlife photography for a beginner. It will start giving from the expert perspective. Okay, it is same LLM, same chatbot. The way how we are prompting, we are giving it a role, saying that you are an expert in something. The way of answering differs. Okay, same thing we can get it by prompting one by one, but what is more convenient in case of chatbots in general, the LLM, we just throw a specific role for it, it can perform better. One. Second thing, what we'll have to again be mindful about the fact is, it is assuming an expert role from within its knowledge. There may or may not be real expertise in this. But in general, since it is trained on various topics, to some extent there is expertise. Okay, so this is what mock interview sorry. The mock interview we'll have to set a context to the chat GPT saying, mock interview again I'll take a prompt. Parallel on the screen me on the document open prompt type copy. I want a mock interview to be done for me for a position of web application developer. Okay, I have 5 years experience in this field. Make a mock interview. Okay, so this is a one layer in information. As we can expect, it is quite generic and vague. Let's see what it does. Okay, so interviewer question second question first point question anticipate this itself can be helpful. Okay, just experience I am doing web application development. I am applying for this role. Question anticipate can you walk me through your recent web application that you have built? What technologies did you use? For example, type just I'll put this example as an answer. Let's see what it does. Maybe back end I did this front end for example, let me give that information. Okay, consider that I'm giving this answer. Further, drill down the question. Okay, I mean, the information the PostgreSQL use backend Python language and programming it can further drill down, saying that we PostgreSQL fast can you walk me through here? How did you use the session management in the module? Authentication it can drill down. So basically, two elements. It is helping you to drill down the questions by going to the next step. Okay, and also it is staying in the context of what you have explained. Okay, Having said all these things, still it is not very clear. That is because way can start kirri. Okay, I will give another better example by creating one more conversation. Okay, I'll give some more details. First, I'm going to set the tone. I'm applying for a senior embedded development position for an organization that makes industrial automation projects with the context theory. Okay, I want a mock interview to be done. Okay, I have told that I'm going to give the job requirements, so it is waiting for me to give the job requirements. Now I copy this, the job requirement. Then it can start asking questions about technical scenario based question one getting or second it can mock interview. This itself has given a plan. Technical question C programming, in-memory database, debugging related question then I will get into the scenario based question, problem solving, behavioral question. First one patterns first question it has put. Okay, what are the difference between volatile and const qualifiers in C? Constant data gets allocated. Random or top answer gets allocated in heap memory and volatile in data memory. Actually, ulta. That's not entirely accurate. Let me clarify. Okay, so adamela pona use thinking to the area of work. Okay, so the area of work to me kai madri role apply karariya elle job requirement to me sangirigino first question avin to me pona answer karadasi tella to idella continue kirin further check hallide adella explanation sangirigino probably it would have asked the next question, follow up question. Why is it dangerous to remove the volatile qualifier from a hardware status register variable? It can ask a follow up question. Okay, you can get into the again to me source. Ask me some tricky questions in scenario based. You are working on an embedded system with RTOS that controls an industrial automation machine. 3 tasks at that. After deployment, you know that there is a logging task sometimes never executes. How would you debug? How would you fix it? This is precisely how the real interview questions are going to be. Correct. That's textbook question then maybe fresher level question. On the stage, when we experience gain get when we go sit for an interview, anger question muka of the time in the high. I mean, Sangare on the thread on the scenario create kiri, the additional risk add kiri, constraint create kiri, they will present it back to us. Now you tell me, Giri. So the same job AI is now able to do. It is perfectly playing an interviewer role. Okay. Further further perfect and utilize later I will show you a demo of how do we use it in audio mode. It takes time. It has its own advantage. For example, if I am a person who doesn't want to be driven by time pressure while having a preparation, this is better. Take your own time and type. It will handle it. At the same time, the real feel of voice mode demo. Okay. Now, so far what we have seen is, I mean, very generic and it can start generic framework and then gradually get into the specificity. We give a right starting point saying that we role apply area job description in the thirdly, it has a schema or it has a strategy to conduct your interview and it goes based on that. And wherever we say something wrong, it is able to point out immediately because it is quite technical knowledge. I mean, type it is able to immediately point out and say what is wrong in your answer, and then it is giving a follow-up question, and it can even ask you a tricky scenario question, which is quite technical. There is nothing behavioral here. Technical scenario based question it can formulate. Okay, so counter example, Deputy, we will go little more detail. Okay, so I'm giving more and more context to my Chennai. I'm applying for a solution architect role for an organization who make Chennai based solutions with want to me kind note I'm telling I would like you to perform a mock interview which will help me in self evaluation. Focus should be on specific area later sangata. Ask questions one by one, wait for my answer, and finally when I say evaluation, please give me evaluation. Meaning then and there evaluate karagambli protela. So these are the instructions what I was talking about. Okay, to maybe interviewer to me sakellare kollamari interviewer pajalti to me sakirwai then I am giving the focus area. Okay, which one of these scripts area? What I will say is this is my focus area. So Telagura consider or a generic pattern sutta mo ella area focus area question pusle now it is following my instructions, saying that it is asking one question based on what I have instructed, and it is purely a scenario based question. You can see, imagine you are designing an LLM powered chatbot for a customer support application. The chatbot should handle FAQ, troubleshoot issues, and escalate complex this one to human agent. Okay, kai to me architectural component because I have told I am applying for a solution architect. Okay, so LLM based job architecture it is asking architectural questions. Okay, accurate, and how would you ensure that the chatbot provides the relevant answer? Maybe prepare the answer goes some kai system I will say what I have done for LLM usage. Good approach. It gives something about the answer. It has not yet jumped into evaluation because I have told wait for my instruction to say evaluation please. Immediately it goes into the next question, follow-up question. How did you evaluate selected a specialized LLM for analytics? LLM was identified from HF on a platform HF based on its capabilities and limitations. For example, just a vague answer, but it is not really in detail. So they have it is asking further question. Now if I say evaluation please, so far on the this question answer evaluation. Okay, what is strength? What is your area of improvement? Okay, of course I mean konni criteria nita just one line answer diriyalla. So it says need more details on selection criteria. How did you select? I selected from a portal based on capability limitation. It is very generic. Okay, it doesn't mean anything. So it correctly points out saying that need more detail when you mention about selection of your LLM. Okay, and optimization strategy patti konni topic so far, but I had asked for a focus area on optimization. However, none of my answers spoke about optimization, so it says it is an area of improvement. Okay, and finally as overall rating is here. I can even ask critical evaluation. Manavi angunavi clear ga navigintala tunga again sangai. It doesn't mind putting the words of tumijukku superficial gan sangarase. Concrete and optimization patti konni sangyani, scalability patti konni sangyani, simply superficial it can play a hard interviewer role also. Okay, so say at 4 anyway at 5 3. It was trying to be nice with me. I myself said Telabra Kavala to Sethana Sangi Manatika. It is really getting into the mode and saying that this is something very high level answer which is not practical. It is telling on my face. Okay, so this is what I said. Elamama and on a judgment fear, we can try it out. I mean, you are kind of self evaluating with a helpful tool mana mari kalligina we can get into it. Okay, so ele mari on a quick demo with voice mode saying they mudala specific question kaidiriya sense we can discuss it.
Okay, so more question on the recommendation for those who are here today. So we have interview karrasi men kyanago. So interview mili harrasi. So full time mili interview harrasi. They are the contractor mili interview kari harrasi. So they are the new commerce. On the tengamali interview harrasi. They are the low level junior tengam. So I gone through interview process for a lot of people, different, mainly technical side of it. I mean, in the software line, see. So, me at me Sangyapura me in review career. So, just a suggestion. Yes, it provides one part of it in the sense, Kayamanadi. Technical part of my, okay, answer but it is not the only thing that I would consider. I mean, me more experience interview I will go through the process, whatever mainly I will see the body language. Okay, so I know kona response okay, I know straight to the answer. Okay, I know this animal so many of the generic and sangana. So it's not only technical, but also how that person will fit in my team. So and I on a team player again yes, and he will go on his own. Any team cooperative me Sankarias mani delivery can research kaidi on the sangrama telamari expert kan. So more focus in a deliverable. Okay, on the team Jan Karasa, he should deliver what I recommended. Telemara, there is a separate process for how deployment will be taken care. There are separate process for how QA will be doing it. So there is a separate process for how he will fit in the R culture. So Illapura, on the recommendations, I think Sangaria. So make sure that don't 100% depend on what it says. It covers one part of it. But
you are exactly right. So far we have explored the technical part of it, be it in software development, in other roles, the technical part of it cover career. Behavioral part, we haven't touched it. Purposefully because behavioral part is more human, it cannot be done by. You have said the right disclaimer. Gen AI being Gen AI, it's a machine. Okay, so it is not any human evaluator. Technical it can be evaluating our answer to some extent or to major extent correctly. So practice human elements definitely not in conclusion of this. However, we can even ask for human, behavioral kind of scenarios, more challenge question post sangwai. Okay, what it will do is they have training and knowledge base, there could be a lot of the psychology material for a it will try to gauge. However, non-verbal communication body language tone that doesn't go into this because it is purely textual. But the verbal communication element, it can pick the psychology part of it from its trained knowledge. To some extent, it can even evaluate that. But we cannot go with that completely. For sure, we'll have to go for a evaluation. For example, on a mentor say, friend say, we can mock interview conduct we can take their help for improving on those topics, for sure. Other questions, Deepa and Arun and Rizkiri sir.
To me, some questions is post minutes Sangria, but the questions are already on the pointers. Pona Madri answer Kirwai. Tell us already prompt generator from Nadi telephone.
Kirwai, the Mudrada Mamu, I'm Pony Samanata Pusega. Ada Yadavi, me Tapu answer can again start. It jumped into giving me answers. Right. So maybe on a tapu answer it started explaining to me and educating me. Okay, this is how normally it works. Here in the third one, I have instructed it to wait for my trigger for evaluation. Till then, to begin to question mutum pusle jamni sangiria, you can add in your prompt saying that wherever I go wrong, you give me the correct approach panatenu chechi include kityasanavi. ಎಲ್ಲ ಬೈ ನೇಚರ್ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಸಬ್ ಕೆರಾರಿಯ ಅದಾவது तुम्ही ತಪ್ಪು ಸಂಖ್ಯೆ ತೆವಚಿ ಮಿ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ತಪ್ಪು ಉಂದ ಇದ್ರೆ ತಪ್ಪು ಉಂದ ಯಾತನ ಇಮಿಡಿಯೇಟ್ ಅಂತ ಎಲ್ಲ ವೀಗ್ನು तुम ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ತನ್ನ ತನ್ನ ಎತ್ತಿಗಿನು then it goes to the next question. So it is kind of learning also. ಅದು ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಇರುತ್ತೊಳಗಿನು ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಇರವೆ ಸಮ್ ಮೈನ್ಯೂಟ್ ಡೀಟೇಲ್ ವೀನ್ ಇನ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮಿಂಗ್ ಇರವ ಇನ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಡಿಸೈನ್ ಇರವ ಹಂಗೆ ಕಳಾಣ ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲ ವೀಗಿನು ಹಂಗೆ ವೀಗಿನ ರಿಫ್ರೆಶ್ ಕೆಲ ಮಾರಿ ಮಿಳಿ ಹಾಗೆ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ತುಮಿ ಸಂಗರಿ ವೀಗಿನು ಇಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ಇನ್ಕ್ಲೂಡೆಡ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಪ್ರಾಂಪ್ಟ್. Okay, for example, ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಮು just to push saying that I mean vehicles and superficial ಎಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಮ selection ಗಿರಿನು ಎರಡವಿನು what would be good approach in ಎಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಮ selection ಗಿರಿ ಪುಸಂಗಿ so it will stack up its answer. Okay, because normally I mean ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾದರಿ chat gpt or any LLM ಯೂಸ್ ಕರದೆ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಹಂಗೆ ಡೌಟ್ಸ್ ಐತೆ ಪುಸುವ ಎಲ್ಲ ಈಗಿನ ನಾಲೆಜ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹಿಡಿದ ಕಡೆ ಆರ್ ಇಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸರ್ಚ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಇಂಟರ್ನೆಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಗಿವ್ ಮಿ ಅನ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಹಿಡಿದ ಕಡೆ ಹಿಯರ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ರಿವರ್ಸಿಂಗ್ ದ ರೋಲ್ ಸೇಯಿಂಗ್ ದಟ್ ಯು ಆಸ್ಕ್ ಮಿ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ನಾಟ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಆಸ್ಕ್ ಯು ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಅಂತ ಸಂಗಿದ್ರಿ ಆಲ್ತ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಈಗಿನ ಕ್ವೈಟ್ ಒಂದು ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಪುಸಲೇ ಜಾರಿ. Okay, so it can be set through prompt musavi wherever I go wrong you correct my answers here ಸಂಗಿದ್ರಿ ಆಸನ say it can get into that mode. That's possible.
ಓಕೆ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಏನೋ ಮರ ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ನ ತಗೋ ಏನೋ ತು ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಜನರೇಟ್ ಕೇರಿ ತಲಗ ಪಾಯಿಂಟರ್ಸ್ ರಾಡಿ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ಸ್ ಜನರೇಟ್ करने मला
Q&A ಮಾರಿ ಮಾಡಿದೀನಿ
ಹೈ ಡೇಟಾಬೇಸ್ ಮಾ
ಇರುವೈ ಸೇಮ್ ಹೇಗೆ ವೀನು ಫರ್ದರ್ ಫಾರ್ ಅದರ್ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ಸ್ create questions and correct answers correct answers ಇದಂಗೆ ಸನಸೆ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಮೊತ್ತ ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಕರಿತಿಡಿക്കുന്നു ರಾಗ್ ಫೋನ್ ಯೂಸ್ करना ರಾಗ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ನಾವೆ ಸನಸೆ ತೆಲಗ ವಿನ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಕಾರ್ಯ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೋಣ ಹೋಗಿ ಇನ್ನ ಸನಸೆ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಕೈಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೋರಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಲರ್ನ್ ಮಾರಿ ಜಡೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂ ಆರ್ ಪ್ರಿಪರೇಷನ್. ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂ ಪ್ರಿಪರೇಷನ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾರಿ ತುಂಬ ಯೂಸ್ ಕಿರುವಾಗಿ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂ ಅವಡೆ ಸನಸೆಯಾಗಿನು ಅದನ್ನು ದಾ ಸಂಖ್ಯೆ ಸೋನವಿಗಿನ್ ತುಂಬ ರಿಯಲ್ ಸಿನಾರಿಯೋ ಬೇಸ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಅವತ್ತೊಳಗಿನ್ ಹೌ ಯುವರ್ ಮೈಂಡ್ ಥಿಂಕ್ಸ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಗೋ ಬೈ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ and finally wait for your evaluation. Then you see reflect back saying that me having kona angur improve in no kolla area focus kenna you have to reflect back. So tell a role mo avtolaginu opode hybrid answer singulation say we'll go in the typical trap of learning and doing, not exhibiting my skills or not explaining my achievements. We'll go into that learning mode. So Jane can do anything. Whatever you ask, it will do. Okay. So quick and the voice demo they could see. You want to stop getting if you want to share kerusi so that it will work. Want to request can ask you mute and draw. Kella we can voice it respond karegi. Anyway, me other screen maybe again folder. I mean meeting windows. So if something is not working, maybe somebody can raise hand. I'll understand you are not able to hear the voice meaning it hurts. Give me a minute. Hello.
Sorry, I'm having issues right now. Could not understand what you said.
Do you hear me now?
Yes, I hear you. What's on your mind?
Okay, so I am applying for a job in GenAI-based solution development. I would like a mock interview to be done for my self-evaluation in the areas of LLM, RAG pipeline, and optimization techniques. Can you do a mock interview by asking questions one by one? And towards the end, I want your evaluation in terms of accuracy of my answers and consistency.
Absolutely, I can help with that. Let's start with the first question, and we'll take it one step at a time. Question 1. Can you explain the key differences between supervised learning and reinforcement learning, especially in the context of large language models, LLMs?
Okay, supervised learning is mainly done by a tagged data, meaning there are known features and known target variables based on which a model is trained. That is called supervised learning. And reinforcement learning is more based on the feedback. The model learns when the trainer gives feedback. It learns what is the right answer and what is the wrong answer. So that's how the training methods are different in LLM.
You're on the right track. You highlighted the core difference between supervised learning, where labeled data guides the model's learning, and reinforcement learning, where feedback helps the model optimize its actions. However, when it comes to LLMs, reinforcement learning typically involves techniques like reinforcement learning from human feedback, RLHF, where the model fine-tunes its behavior based on human preferences or feedback, which is a bit more specific. Let's move on to the next question. Question 2. In the context of a retrieval augmented generation, RAG, pipeline, how do you ensure that the retrieved documents or data are relevant to the query? And what role does the generator play in this process?
Okay, so this is done by the embeddings of data or knowledge base and the vector database. Normally, the vectorization does the numerical conversion of data, and that is preserved in vector database. When I query based on my user input, the right amount of data which is semantically searched comes out. So that's how it is being relevant to the question or the prompt. Okay, and the prompt and the retrieved data, which is a context, are then fed to the LLM to generate the output.
Great explanation. You correctly described how embeddings and a vector database work to retrieve relevant data based on semantic similarity. This is central to the RAG pipeline, where the retrieval process finds contextually relevant information, and then the LLM generates responses based on that context. The prompt and retrieved context being fed into the generator is spot on. Let's move to the next question. Question 3. In GenAI-based solution development, how do you optimize the performance of a large language model while ensuring scalability for handling high throughput requests?
Evaluation, please.
Let's evaluate your responses. 1, supervised versus. However, the answer could be improved by mentioning that in LLMs, reinforcement learning is particularly important for fine-tuning models like GPT with human feedback, RLHF, which enhances their responses based on real-world data. Your answer was accurate, but lacked this specific application in LLMs. 2, retrieval augmented generation, RAG pipeline. You provided a great explanation.
Okay, so the method says Adam so far voice and carrier, it finally gives the transcript also. Of course, we madhim interrupt kitriya last year with the record carrier, amangari madhim interrupt triya. But however, tell a kai question to say, I may be kai answer sangeya. Tell a question 1, what was my answer? Tell a response question 2, what was my answer? And then third one, I interrupted here and said, okay, go ahead and evaluate my answer. Of course, lack of time. Otherwise, we can go on this way. So, text-based to me, mock interview try it is quite possible, and moreover, it works without any time pressure on you. Okay, but at the same time, a behavioral question or spontaneity is what I would suggest is go with the audio mode, because more and more time we give to ourselves, we will be correct. Okay, when we are in some sort of time pressure where somebody is waiting for my answer, it will be the true answer what I would really give an interview. Okay, so that gives my true evaluation. So the mode to try. Okay, so this is what I mean, we can LLM, so we can other Chennai, so we can mock interview and we wanted to explain. Okay, so far we have seen in terms of again, resume preparation, interview preparation, in terms of company research kona karta, product research kona karta. Then finally we could see the mock interview phase of the GenAI part also as a use case. Okay, and in summary, I mean, guys and women, say, going forward, it is going to be an industry, not just IT industry, in general, any industry, content creation in Hawaii, other non-technical industry in Hawaii. It is going to be a scenario where whoever is using the AI as a tool for improving their productivity, performance, creativity, those people will have an edge. That's what is the observation what we have. Okay, so this is what we had to present. Sorry, share share. Now you are able to see my screen here with the slide. Balaji, slide say.
Yes, okay. Yes, Krishna, yeah.
Yes, yes.
You can see whether.
Sorry, the tabs share kari ho hai. This is what we had in our agenda to present today. Through thoughts and questions share karo. Later, I mean, mail feedback formally that you can provide your feedback. That is going to definitely help us in formulating the coming sessions. Okay, just for your information, next Saturday, we are planning for a session on content creation and productivity.
Can you move to next slide? We are talking about that. Highlight kariye. Slide number 36.
36. Okay, sorry.
Okay. Yeah, you can share that one.
Sure. Okay, so next session, it is going to be about content creation and productivity improvement, be it document creation in drawing, PPT, or image and audio, video. It can be different content creation and productivity improvement, which we have planned for a session next Saturday. Similar timing. The timing, for example, in the weekend, we are kind of overshot by almost 30 minutes. I was saying that adjust career also, we can plan that way. Okay, so in the we had a good amount of registration. 165 people had registered, but to be hardly 40 people connected. Okay, spread the word so that it gives us motivation also to prepare better content. I mean, this is completely done by volunteers, and we will be more happy if this content reaches many people. So, tunga kalayatanga thara friends thara WhatsApp group the information share kirwa plus registration karataga form link that you can circulate that also. Okay, so any questions? I think I see a hand raised.
Hi, tera Messi. Thanks Lamari to me on the session days ago. Okay, me leke jayenge recording se rahi koti access karwayi ella.
Recording unfortunately nahi teams recording feature nahi.
No problem. Our question came in me testing domain sata. So I mean manual testing ata, we automation testing, robot framework purthui kar rahi hai. So first time we generative we introduce karenge sari like test data preparation for a given requirement, third test execution asi karenge sari. So talaga mo GenAI puthu on idea nahi. So on the learning path mari kaidi on me desunya like being in testing field. From where should I start? Like me have machine learning learn kanagi, deep learning kanagi, LLM and NLP. Ella pura me kelli aduthu avi la GenAI avi more testing domain interest karso kai kalnagi. Many kaidi on the learning path mari kai say to me recommend karta
custom path mari we can definitely talk about it. Of course, maybe later we can connect. Mailum we can connect. Mail it ID that the Sourashtra professionals. I'll revert back to you.
Email ID sir.
Email ID note Sourashtra professionals@gmail.com. Okay, so easy to remember, like complete word sourashtraprofessionals@gmail.com. To me, the mail that we will revert back. Screen share.
त्याला PPT मध्ये कळसन्या.
Oh, sorry. Now when I stop, get to share with this.
Okay.
Already, yeah.
Oh, me on the
full
tab
screen
photo share
the
kariyo dayal correct avare.
Okay.
The case here, that's ours, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So, sourashtraprofessionals@gmail.com.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
But in short, test data preparation definitely it can help. Okay. तुम्ही अभी ML रे हम करते हैं अगर तुम्ही chronological order में खड़े हैं ऐसे अभी ML first over technique अதாவது AI space में तेरे அடுத்து deep learning आवे तेरे அடுத்து Gen AI उठे. Now we are at Gen AI where it gives the convenience of processing with your natural language. So that is a huge advantage compared to ML. तो ML ऊपर जाते हुए इसमें Gen AI में से भी अलग solution अभी डेवलप कर पाऊँ.
Okay.
Gen AI अभी 2-minute noodles मारे उड़लो. मुझे कुकिंग करना तो नवीन 2-minute noodles तो भी कौन मैनेज करेगी तो ले मेरे Gen AI तो भी तुमको चुके कलाना जेमिली पारवनी easy गन मैनेज के तो है.
बालाजी रेस्टोरेंट ओपन करना तो सुनना नहीं था.
Okay.
Very good. Fine. Hope this session all very
I
useful.
think one more question is waiting. Venkatesh, तुम काय question थे?
Hello. కొన్ని నెల స్లైడ్ PPT కొల్ల మూల్యం అబ్బాయి
आम्ही mail हम share करवेस. आदो register करते हैं एको mail ID set तो तुमको invite आवे मदरी से. We will share in the same mail ID the slide deck.
Okay. And अभी actually late kan join करे थे जो काल join करे ही रहा ना समझे but ಎಲ್ಲ clarify करवाना और randomly उन्होंने join करता था but meeting link का accept वेन
ना मैं accept कर लेता ना सदा इसकी तो मैं होता accept कर लेता सदा बेले लिंक
नहीं बट हमारे फ्रेंड जुगवाल ट्राई करे बट एक्सेप्ट हो रहा नहीं ना मीमली ऐड करते ट्राई करेगा बट चलम नहीं हुआ नहीं नेक्स्ट वाला अल्लाह उंडाल चेक करेगा
Sure. Check करवेस. आदो settings का यदि मचना मने सेंस है maybe we can change it so that people directly come in instead of waiting. चलो हमारी मचना सेंस.
Yeah, I'm just getting it.
Before next session, we'll take care of this point.
Okay, very good.
Any WhatsApp groups ಇದೆಯಾ professionals Sourashtra professionals mini ఇది
Hi. WhatsApp group under set है. चले मैं first one type नहीं है. चले कौन चले group में join करते नहीं. उन्हें ये Google form हम धट्टी वैसे. चले हमने चैनल में तो Google form से मेरे सवाई हम डाउन email करे होते. तमाम मैं basic information पूरा call का या चले details के दी. हम useful कर रहा है. मैं तुमसे हम चले collect कर दिया. चले form fill up करे we'll be able to add you into चले group after.
Okay.
ये form link. So WhatsApp group में join करता form link feedback form తెలియదు కవిను contact mail ID plus slide deck ఇలా చదివి కవిను will share it with you people.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Okay, so I hope session was helpful. तुमका उपायराय मिलरिया. तो feedback संगो. Further session is available. We spread the word so that more people join, and that will be the motivation for us to continue.
Giri and Vishnuvardhan, great job. I'm Kalyana Ramudu.
Thank you, Da. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, you know, only introduction. Just it is a very, very fresh introduction, but it gave me a lot of input. So really thanks, and I hope it will be very useful to the real job seekers and the amount of help AI is able to do. Good job.
Thanks, Da.
Good job
next
for
session will be more
for the
interesting
initiative.
Next session will be more interesting to you. We are going to cover day-to-day activities. Tamam AI point is
Okay.
It will be very interesting next.
Oh, I had a lot of various sessions used to come through WhatsApp. Join money. I never tried. So this is the first session I tried because you are there.
Good. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, thanks everyone. Feedback Deva and Vishnu mentioned get some spread. Next session is very interesting and following session will be very useful. I mean, at the same time, Durkaidi topic pajamli suggest kiro. Send an email to sourashtra@gmail.com.
For your
we'll
information,
try
ಎಲ್ಲ
to
slide
solve.
we have listed. Next week, second session is going to be on productivity improvement. Going software developers at AI use KYMT. Then we are going to talk about advanced concepts including AI agents. That is the fourth session we have planned. And in feedback from Sango, include we can consider that also in the program. Okay.
Thank you, team. Thank you for hosting this. It was really excellent, and like everyone coordinated, and it went very well. And I would also like to add some few points here. Like I could see only few of the profiles who are there in LinkedIn, but Kai Sangatamnadi, I think there are many vacancies on job openings available, but I don't see people from their part doing something for the community. I think still people can come out and they can add some like job postings and juga kirwayamnilla varas. Example mo kala trying to do on my best. More say me kai kartam chahige. I'm doing day by day.
Okay. Yeah, good
I
point,
think we
Arun.
should
Yeah.
have a real LinkedIn community where people can connect and grow their network. I think it is very few people those who are accepting requests, and yeah, I think so.
Yeah, correct. I mean, the network should be very strong and powerful. I mean,
Because I totally agree with WhatsApp. I totally agree with WhatsApp. We have a lot of people coming here and there and posting out the openings there. But I want more to be on LinkedIn. That will be very helpful. Yeah.
Yeah, just that will tell them. Their group connect in the net link to automatically will inform everyone.
Yeah, sure. And thanks. Kudos to the team. It was a really good one. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. All right. So we'll close now. Continue communicating over email and WhatsApp. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.